The following is a Dowling Catholic sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic High School sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formalware. Thank you for supporting Dowling Catholic sports on Iowa Catholic Radio.
And a very pleasant good evening, and welcome to the Waukee High School Gymnasium for high school girls and boys basketball tonight here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. My name is Mark Hamadil, alongside the retired coach, but I just pulled him out of retirement, the one and only Scott Babinett.
Hey, Mark, thanks for having me tonight. It's great to be here.
Thanks for being here.
I'm loving it. I've been following you guys through the radio broadcast and some of the streaming to keep
I'm sorry
up
to
with
hear
this
that.
team. No, it's been great following this team this year. It's off to a tremendous start.
It's been a long, it's been a lot of fun. As you know, you were with Coach Marr, the Dowling girls coach, for her first several years, 5 years?
5 years.
And then this is Kristen's 6th year, and all of a sudden, got a lot of freshmen on this group. There's 5 that are dressing and 3 that start.
Right.
Tonight there will be. There's been 2 starting and 1 coming off the bench, and this has been an exciting group to mix in with the juniors and the seniors.
Yeah, these 3 freshmen have been amazing. You know, obviously Ava Zedeker's leading the team in scoring and doing a great job there, and Layla Tritton came on last game a little bit, led the team, I believe, in scoring, and Marin Heller has done a good job off the bench, and I believe she's starting tonight for Julia Moore.
She is, and those have been some outstanding freshmen that has helped lead Dowling and be part of Dowling's 10-0 start.
Right.
Ranked 4th in Class 5A, and we know how important rankings are, at least on the girls' side, not so much the boys, but the girls' rankings, wherever you're ranked, that's where you're seated.
Right, and you know what, I mean, who would have expected this, after the amount of talent Dowling's lost the last couple years, and it just them coming in and infusing the program just really enhances the future and how bright it looks.
Yeah, it certainly does. And, of course, you missed out on that this year. You retired a year too early.
It sounds like it. But I don't think they've missed me.
Oh, I'm sure they have. I know some people's eyes lit up. I said, I got Coach Babinett coming on. You do? And here we are halfway up towards the ceiling here at Waukee High School, not on the bench as we normally are near the bench area at Dowling and some of the other places. But, so you're going to help out with the girls broadcast tonight, and Jim Cataldo, who's been working the girls games with me, is going to move to the boys because our man, Mr. Steve DeVinny, flew out this morning to South Florida. He'll be gone for the next 10 days, so he'll miss 3 games. So
yeah, I know there's some big shoes to fill. I actually have been listening to the games, and Jim's been doing a great job and providing good information for the listeners, and so. But it's a privilege to be a part of this. I enjoyed my time with the team, and sometimes life happens, and you have to make certain choices, and for your family, and so that's kind of my situation. But I've been living vicariously through the streaming of the games. I was able to come to the Roosevelt game, listen to your guys' broadcasts, and then as I told you, they haven't cut my Huddle access, so I get to see some of the games and make up on them a little bit.
That's even more important. And the thing is, Scott, as you know, as you're listening to the pregame show before tonight's Waukee Dowling game, right now we have the sophomore boys game going down to the wire, 15 seconds remaining, and Waukee is about ready to hand Dowling their first loss in sophomore play, 67-57, with about 15 seconds remaining, and Waukee leading the Dowling Sophs. And you look on the other bench, and that is Pat Henkinius, the former sophomore coach at Dowling, who made the transition when Dowling changed coaches. He teaches over here now at Waukee, and now he's their sophomore coach. He does a great job, and I looked at him and I says, yeah, this is your 3rd colored shirt in the last 5 years, from Urbandale to Dowling, and now over here to the purple at Waukee. Yeah. But Pat's a tremendous coach, and he has eked this one out. His kids have played pretty well here down the stretch.
They have, and I didn't know Pat that well, but I know watching parts of his practices the last couple of years at Dowling, how much he's into it and how prepared he is. Much like, I just had a positive experience with all aspects of the program, boys and girls, and how well they prepare their teams. It's almost like they're giving the kids the answers to the test before. It's up to them to go out and perform and answer those questions correctly. And, it's always been something that I've been impressed with the Dowling coaching staffs and what they do.
Absolutely, and I can second that to the utmost. Well, except for the freshman boys, Coach O'Hare. If you look in, you don't have the boys sheet, but he's got his career wins. He made me put that in there. And, he's 5-2 right now, and he always wants to mention his career wins, which I don't really care to. But other than Coach O'Hare, who's got legendary status. I mean, he might have that small gym at Dowling named after him here after a while.
Maybe. Kevin's a tremendous guy. I mean, he was fun. We used to joke around our Cubs-Cardinals rivalry a lot.
Oh, boy.
He'd get after me about wearing a Cardinal sweatshirt to school. And I'd tell him, being a Cardinals fan, isn't that more Catholic than Cubs? So he didn't really have an answer to that.
He did, and none of us do. And I'm a Cubs fan, big time, but I understand. Yeah, I get that. All right, well, the sophomore boys game is ended. The girls will take the court, and let's take a look at that matchup. Scott Babinett is Dowling girls undefeated 10-0. They start 3 freshmen, a junior and a senior, and off the bench a senior and 2 freshmen tonight. You mentioned Julia Moore not playing tonight for Dowling. She's on a soccer showcase down in Florida. I wonder if she took the same flight as DeVinny today, because they both were in Florida. But she got excused, so the first freshman off the bench gets to start her first game tonight, Marin Heller, 5'4" freshman. So that's a look at the Dowling team. And then this Waukee team, remember the school split?
Right.
Last year they won the state title in girls and boys basketball.
Right.
And Waukee hired a new coach, and that was Danny Franklin in her first year. It's Danny Franklin and now Prenti, as she got married this past August. Super young lady, 6'3" is their record, and they have 2 players that played some bench minutes for Chris Guest's Waukee team last year.
Right.
Of course, Coach Guest, the legendary coach that he is over at Northwest, and Dowling will see them later this month at the only time we play Northwest. But anyway, Waukee kind of split, and now here's a group that has 2 reserves from last year. Everybody else is new that's on the roster, and it's a young roster, Scott. 1 senior, 2 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 3 freshmen. So they start 2 of their freshmen. A sophomore, junior, and a senior also start, and they come off the bench with a freshman, sophomore, and junior. So we're going to see a lot of youth here tonight with very few veterans.
Definitely. And, again, that infusion of young talent is something that gives you hope for the future. And, one thing I'm always impressed with is I think of both Coach Marr and Coach Prenti. They're taking over for legendary coaches, and they haven't shied away from that challenge. And a lot of people would say you don't want to replace the legend. You want to replace the guy that replaced the legend or the lady. And they've taken this challenge on, and hey, they're going to run with it. These are legendary programs and always been high competitive programs in the CIML, and they do a good job of bringing their young players along, and they're both in a good position right now.
They certainly are.
So
they certainly are.
It should be a tremendous matchup tonight.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio, brought to you in part by Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Skeffington's Formal Wear. Remember, you can like Iowa Catholic Radio on Facebook and follow them on Twitter at Iowa Catholic Radio Network on both. We'll take a break here in the pregame show alongside Scott Babinett tonight. This is Mark Hemmadale. Jennifer Phelps is our studio producer as we are here at Waukee High School. It's Dowling and Waukee. The girls' game, teams getting ready to warm up. We're about 12 minutes away from introduction, so we got a little extended pregame, and that's good because we got Coach Babinett back with us, and he can talk about, I'm going to ask him a few questions about his time at Dowling, the 5 years that he was there in the transition. So we'll stay tuned for that as the pregame show continues here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
back here at the Waukee Gymnasium tonight as it's Friday night high school girls and boys basketball here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Amadale joined by Scott Babinet as we get set for Dowling and Waukee. Teams warming up as we speak. And Scott, take a look at the schedule tonight in the CIML. A lot of games going on. Of course, Dowling at Waukee. These are all girl-boy doubleheaders. How about over at Johnston? Number 9 Valley, both in the girls and the boys side. They're ranked 9th, taking on number 1 Johnson, the girls game, and number 6 Johnson, the boys game. That'll be quite the matchup for the evening, I think.
That will be. And, Valley and Johnson have tremendous programs, as many of the CIML programs are. And it's generally a real fight each night to come out with a victory. And Johnson, obviously, is number 1 for a reason. They kind of flexed the other night and said, hey, we are number 1. And so, it's they're just such a talented team. And, Joe over at Coach Joe at Valley, he does such a great job of developing his team through the year. And so, I would expect that on the girls' side that Johnson would come out with that win tonight. But I think Valley will give them a good run.
Valley is Dowling's next opponent next Tuesday night, the game we'll have here in the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. And the Valley Tiger girls have won 3 in a row since their loss to Dowling last month.
They and even in that game, I mean, Dowling got up, I believe, by 17 points and ended up being a close one. And so, you know that about Valley. They're not going to quit. Their coach doesn't let them do that. And he's just a great coach. Obviously, he's won 2 state championships in the last 5 or 6 years. And they're just always and it's a rivalry game, right? I mean,
certainly
Dowling Valley is always something that everybody looks forward to.
And something interesting, of course, Dowling plays Valley Tuesday. Dowling plays Johnson a week from tonight. And
right.
You'll be sitting in. That'll be your last game before Devaney comes back with a suntan the following week. But Dowling and Johnson, number 1 versus number 4, maybe, depending on what happens. But that'll be a great matchup at the Dowling Gym next Friday.
Yeah, and you want those games because, in the state of Iowa, you're going to make playoffs. You're looking for seeding, and you're looking for those measuring stick games. And so, the thing I like about the schedule coming out of the break is you got Urbandale, you take a jump up to Waukee, then you get your rivalry game with Valley, and they and Waukee had a tremendous game earlier this year, and then you get the number 1 team. And so you are going to get measured, and which happens every year in the CIML.
All right, other games tonight in the CIML. These are all girl-boy doubleheaders starting at 6:15 or thereabouts. We know if the preliminary game, the JV or the sophomore game runs long, it might be a little late. Southeast Polk is at Urbandale, and that's all Central Conference games. The Iowa Conference, Ames is at Ankeny Centennial. That game being televised on CISN. Waukee Northwest traveling to Fort Dodge. So that's where Coach Guess is tonight in his Northwest Wolves. Ankeny is at Mesa City. That game is played at North Iowa Area Community College, not at Mesa City because they're doing renovations to the gym in Mesa City. Other games in the Metro Conference, Hoover is at Roosevelt and Lincoln is at East. And Buys tonight, North, Marshalltown, and Ottumwa all have the night off. We may see a coach here. You never know.
There you go. I look at obviously Southeast Polk will have a great opportunity tonight to pull out a win with Urbandale. That Ames-Ankeny Centennial game, obviously Ankeny Centennial is always a class of defense in the CIML. Coach DeYoung does such a great job of teaching defense, and they're just always so connected. And they're such a, it's like going to the dentist and having a root canal playing that defense. And you're like, it's going to be tough. And even if you thought you might have the advantage, they just make it so difficult. So I don't envy Ames in that game. The Northwest and Fort Dodge game, I saw bits and pieces of the Northwest and Waukee game, and it looks like Coach Guess has got his new team going quite well right now. And of those 3 in that conference, Ankeny and Mason City will probably be the toughest game there to look at tonight, closest game I would anticipate. But, that Ankeny doesn't, I remember going over there and having a big lead on them a few years ago, and they came back and beat us late. It was just one of those things like, what happened? So it's just a conference, and then in the Metro League, Roosevelt is definitely a tremendous team.
And the girls play, yes, they are. And Dowling started out the year with them. Scott, one thing I want to mention to you or ask you about is next year the shot clock comes into play for high school. They haven't decided if it's going to be a 30, 35-second, 40. What happens when the ball's kicked out of bounds? What are they going to reset it to? And all those factors. But coaches like Coach DeYoung, a legendary, soon-to-be Hall of Fame coach at Ankeny Centennial, led the Ankeny program many years, and many coaches that play tremendous defense don't really, I shouldn't say care about scoring, but they score enough to win, but they emphasis on defense. Well, now they got to put the ball up every 30 or 35 seconds. How is that going to change? And they've changed, obviously, with the game starting. Scott was coaching 6-on-6 back in his early days. So how is that going to evolve, you think?
You know, I had the unique experience of coaching in California for most of my career, and we always had the shot clock in my time there. And so it is different. I mean, most of the teams you'll see, it's not in their general play going to affect them. But I think with, like, Centennial, you look at their defense, certainly like, oh, we only have to play defense for 30 seconds because we rebound so well and we take care of that. It'll maybe pressure them a little bit more, but 30 seconds is enough to get a good possession if you handle things right. But a team like Centennial, they could play defense for a minute and a half, and you wouldn't really see too many stumbles along the way. They stay in flow of their defense, and they stay so connected and communicate so well. But you know, it's going to be some of those, how do you adjust the end of the clock, you know, some of those decisions. But I don't think, you know, like in the case of Dowling, they like to push the ball a lot and get the shot up quick. So I don't think too often it'll affect them. You won't notice it as much. But, you know, I think those great defensive teams will look at it and say, I can play defense even a little bit harder in this 30 seconds because I know I have the chance to get the ball back sooner. So
okay.
I think it's going to actually be tremendous. To me, I think necessary change because it helps you prepare for playing in college. You know, kids adapt, and, you know, I know a lot of it was, I think it was about cost and finding people to do that, but good people can figure that out.
Yeah.
It's just.
And my take on that is not so much the cost factor. You got to buy an extra deal. You got to have an extra person at the scores table. Mine is slowing down the game, and we've had reports, as I'm pretty inclined with some of my media buddies all across the state. Yeah, we had a team hold the ball for 5 minutes in the third quarter, right after halftime.
Right.
That's what it's going to stop, and it needs to. That's not the game.
Does. Yeah.
You know, now that might be a strategy, and you have to respect that as a coach. That might be the only way your kids can win that night because you're underwhelmed. But that's not the game how it was played. It's to be played up and down. And my colleague in football, Matt Mandering, the principal at Dowling, coached girls basketball, and he said, Mark, it probably only affects, maybe there's 10 teams in the state that may once in a while do it. The rest of the state's doing it anyway. They're up and down, just like you said, Scott. But it's only a handful of teams. Well, it's going to knock that off, and hopefully we won't see any more of the holding the ball for a whole quarter.
You know, and I mean, honestly, you're right. If the strategy's there, it's fair game, but boy, it is. I remember the newscast last year on Channel 13 I was watching, and they showed the Des Moines Christian game where I think it was Madrid was holding it for most of the quarter. And it's like, you know, people pay good money to come see an exciting game, and that takes away from it. So it makes it especially difficult.
Yes, it certainly does. Well, let's take a look at our starting lineup tonight before we go to the break, before the introductions and the national anthem. We'll start with the visitors from Dowling Catholic. The head coach is Kristen Meyer in her 6th year, 98 wins, 26 losses, and she's just one win away from win number 200 at 199-71, and she's assisted by Joel Danner and Audrey Faber. Remember those two that were sitting next to you?
I do.
Scott Babinet is our color guy tonight. He's 1 year removed from being on the Dowling bench, so that's why we brought him up here to replace Devaney tonight. The Maroons will start this lineup. They'll start the freshmen, Marin Heller and Ava Zedeker in the guard court. Both of them are Heller at 5'4", Zedeker at 5'9". Zedeker, the leading scorer, averaging 14 points, has made 19 threes. And, Scott, the thing I'm impressed about with Heller and Zedeker, they can close the deal. They're well over 80% at the free throw line when you need them at the end.
Right, and that's especially important, and one of the talking points I would get to later on in this game.
And Heller will wear number 11 and Zedeker number 13. The other guard, the other freshman is Layla Tritton, 5'8" freshman, averaging 6 points and 2.5 rebounds, and she'll wear number 45. So Heller, Zedeker, Tritton, the three guards, all freshmen. Lauren Frericks is a junior forward at 5'10", averaging 7 points and 2.5 rebounds and 8 blocks on the year. And the young lady in the middle, Emma Gipple, 4-year, I don't know starter, but she has played all 4 years at Dowling. You know that, Scott.
Yep.
5'10" senior, averaging double-doubles. 11.5 points, 12.5 rebounds, leads the team in rebounds, steals, and block shots. And Gipple will wear number 23. Dowling comes in averaging 54 points on offense, giving up 37 points on defense. They're ranked 4th, and they're undefeated at 10-0 coming into tonight's game here at Waukee. And now for the Waukee Warriors. The head coach in her first year is Danny Franklin. 6 wins, 3 losses, and she's assisted by Dustin Alvine, Abby Miller, and James Brook. And the Warriors will start this lineup at 1 point guard, Kirsten Hauk, a 5'8 sophomore, averaging 11.5 points, and she has hit 16 threes on the year and leads the team in assists with 3.5, so we're number 2. The other point guard, as they go with 2, is Emily Sorensen, a 5'9 freshman, averaging 10.5 points, leads the team with 24 steals. And the third guard is Linda Lampe. She's one of the captains, a 5'8 senior, and averaging 12 points, leads the team with 30 made threes and in scoring with 12 points, to show we're number 12. And the fourth guard is Miranda Peters, a 5'8 junior, averaging 7 points, team leader in rebounds with 5. And the fifth guard, yes, a 5-guard lineup, is Gentry Williams, a 5'8 freshman, averaging 6 points, and leads the team in rebounds with 3.5 and 24 steals. So it'll be Hauk, Sorensen, Lampe, Peters, and Williams, the 5 starters for Waukee. They average 63 points on offense and give up 37 points on defense. So, Scott, that's the tale of the tape, and it's Dowling and Waukee. Looking back at this history, Waukee's 11-8 as we go back to 2007, and Dowling's won 4 of the last 6 games, but Waukee won both last year.
That's right. They had a tremendous year last year in that state championship year.
That's right. All right, we'll take a break, and we'll go. We'll come back with the tip-off between Dowling and Waukee. Along with Scott Babinet, I'm Mark Amadale. Studio producer is Jennifer Phelps. We'll return with the start of tonight's game. It's Dowling and Waukee. Girls game coming up here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
So, why has the Catholic Church done so many bad things?
If your math teacher illustrated that 2 + 2 is 4 by forcing each student to drink 4 gallons of milk, it doesn't mean that the math is wrong when you throw up. Was the teacher abusing his authority and wounding with the truth instead of healing? Probably, but what he taught was still true and still good. So the church offers and teaches only what is true and good, even if the sinners within the church don't live it out. And coming to that, even if we haven't thrown the whole church into scandal, we are all still sinners. So maybe the more appropriate question is, how is the Catholic Church still good when I've done so many bad things? Since we're all one body in Christ, our sin affects everyone and can even lead others to sin. Lucky for us, Christ came to save us from our sin and gave us the church to do it. So let's stop sinning and be the church to others. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youngcatholicminute.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School, and welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School basketball. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting basketball, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Ryan Andrew, and I'm the chaplain at Dowling Catholic High School. Let us pray for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask you to bless all those involved in this athletic competition tonight. We ask that you keep them safe, and that they all show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord, amen. All holy men and women, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.
Dowling Catholic! Dowling!
It's time to introduce the starting lineups for game number 1. First, for the Maroons.
And welcome back to the Waukee Gym. Mark Amadale joined by Scott Babinet tonight here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network as they're introducing the starting lineups for both teams right now. We did right before break. We'll recap that here in a moment. It's Dowling and Waukee, game 1 of our girl-boy doubleheader. The Waukee Warrior Gals with a record of 6-3 after the school split. 2 remaining players from that team stayed here at Waukee. I think the other 5 or 6 went over with Coach Guess and are on that bus to Fort Dodge tonight,
yeah.
Scott.
That's a long trip.
It is, on a very cold night. As we got to remember, we have our internet listeners. You mentioned that earlier, Scott, about watching the game on the internet and or listen through the iPhone or on the radio. But people that may be listening like in Florida or some of the warmer places, it just barely got into the teens today here in central Iowa. The last few days we've had wind chills throughout the day, 0 or below 0 for highs, and so it's made it very, very difficult to get around.
It has been no fun.
And we haven't had winter until this past week, to be quite honest. And we have it tonight.
I'm really loving work from home these days.
I bet you are. But what do you see in the matchups tonight? I know they're going through the introductions. We'll introduce the kids one more time. But your thoughts on this game tonight, Dowling and Waukee? Because we really, we've got Waukee, this will be their 10th game. And I know both Joel Danner and Audrey Faber and Coach Marr have kind of watched tape. But this is not going to be a typical Chris Guest type team. You're going to see a little bit different flavor to them.
Right. I think both teams want to get up and down a little bit, and they're both tremendous offensive rebounding teams. So that'll be, one of the things we'll look at tonight is who controls those offensive boards, get those extra putbacks and possible and ones. I think Dowling has kind of an advantage because Emma is such a tremendous, relentless rebounder and has such an influence on the game that way. And I think both teams, as they like to get up at the court, it leads to turnovers, so you want to watch and see who can keep their turnovers down. You expect it more in an up-tempo game, but you don't want them as high as both teams have them on the year. And then I'm really incredibly interested in how both teams respond. Dowling's had quite a bit of success. Hopefully they don't take things for granted and come out a little lackadaisical tonight. And then how's Waukee respond to their game? I call it an avalanche game the other day. How do they come back? Was it confidence shaken, or they come back and fight hard? How, what's that sense of pride they have? And so those are probably the three things I look at right away, and we'll see how it transpires throughout the game.
Visit with the Waukee head coach, Danny Franklin, in her first year. Said this team's fun to coach. They're inexperienced, but there's a lot of upside and potential. Well, one senior, and she starts. That's the Lampe girl.
Right.
And but they've been fun to coach. A very young team, and they play hard, giving great effort. Sometimes you can't teach effort. You plead for effort. You plead them to play hard. She does not have to do this with this group, and we're going to see that here tonight.
Right. And you know what? Even though the game was tough the other night, I saw girls out there competing hard. And, again, there's a reason why Joensen is the number one team.
All right, tip is up, controlled by the Waukee Warriors. They're in their white uniforms. They go right to left, south to north here at the Waukee High School Gymnasium. Dowling in their all-maroon uniforms with white numbers and letters. And again, Waukee in their all-white uniforms with purple numbers and letters. And the Warriors now in the front court being very patient on their offensive set. They try to lob it inside. It's tipped out of bounds by the Maroons. A nice job that time by Emma Gipple.
Yeah, Dowling's doing a good job early on. They want to force the ball left defensively in their man-to-man, and they're doing a good job of communicating and helping.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you by Skeffington's Formal Wear, Catholic Tuition Organization, and Mercy One. Here's the Warriors inbounding the ball. Work underneath, the shot up and good. Emily Sorensen, the second point guard on the starting lineup, shoots and scores, and it's 2-0 Waukee.
Just as I said that, they drove right.
Yeah. Well, it was off an inbounds play
underneath
the Waukee basket. Dowling in the front court. Here's Zedeker with it. In the corner it goes to Tritton. Layla looks to, gets it over top of the key, to Frericks. And now the Maroons playing catch the perimeter. Long three up off the back iron, no good by Frericks. Ball slapped around and rebounded by Waukee as they get the loose ball. So one and done is Dowling. Waukee now in the front court. It's Kristen Hauk, Emily Sorensen, Lily Lampe, Miranda Peters, and Gentry Williams. A five-guard line. Now backdoor cut. Shot up and it's blocked. Blocked by Dowling. And the other way we go, and that was Frericks with the block. Here is Zedeker for three, right wing. It's no good. Left it short. But who else? Gipple in there for the rebound. It's taken away from her. And here's Waukee. Scrappy team this Waukee team is. They fire the ball up court, and it's tipped out of bounds. Peters couldn't catch up with it. But what a pace we're off to here, Scott.
Yeah, that's the way Dowling wants to play. It was good help side on part of Lauren Frericks and got the block, and they kicked it out for an open three and just did not drop.
So for Dowling, it's Marin Heller, Ava Zedeker, along with Emma Gipple at center, Lauren Frericks the forward, and now down the left side, a shot no good by Frericks, and the rebound slapped around and picked up by Waukee, and that is Sorensen with it. And the fifth starter for Dowling is Layla Tritton. Warriors have it. Dowling yet to score. We're at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. 2-0 Warriors. Are we expecting a low-scoring game?
No, I don't think so. But they're, the pace is good. Shots just have to fall.
Both teams give up an average of 37 points each defensively. Not a factor, huh?
Well, I think there's different strength of schedule in the year, too, as well.
Strength of schedule, yeah. They do have that. That index is on the varsity bound. Now, Tritton for three in the corner on the left side. It's no good. And a rebound, Houck and Waukee. Warriors running with it in their secondary break. And now they'll work we're going to work their half-court offense. A long three, no good by Houck. And a whistle and a foul on Waukee. A loose ball foul on the Warriors. And they're going to get Houck with her first foul and the first foul of the ball game. Our officials tonight, Tyler Brady, Jason Seehosen, and Marion Petty, our three-man officiating crew.
Seeing Waukee pick up a little full court here, and they do switch on dribble drives. And
underneath, Frerich's shot no good, and a whistle and a foul on Waukee as the rebound came down to Gipple. That's another offensive board for Emma. The foul's on Waukee. Peters picks up the foul. That's her first. So 2 team fouls on the Warriors with 5 minutes and 5 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Waukee 2, Dowling nothing here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Amadale joined tonight by former Dowling assistant coach Scott Babinett, who helped Coach Myers their first 5 years at Dowling. And Gipple's free throw is no good. And that's something the Maroons you can point to. Dowling 61% on the year at the free throw line.
Yeah, that's something you want to see. You're really good teams that get up into the 70s as a team, and you really want to see that improve.
Second free throw is good, so it's 2-1 Waukee. Warriors had a 2-point lead early. I mentioned turnovers. Dowling averaging 15 turnovers a game. Warriors averaging 17 turnovers a game. Now Waukee with it down the lane. Sorensen's pass underneath is knocked out of bounds by one of 3 Maroons there.
Yeah.
Good help defense that time. I think Heller came over late.
Yeah, Lauren had a block, and it just went off Marin's hands out of bounds.
So the Warriors will inbound the ball. Lily Lampe will throw it in. She is the senior captain and the lone senior on this team, being guarded by Heller. Now in the corner, Warriors work it against Dowling's man-to-man. We're not going to see a whole lot of zone by Dowling. If we've seen any all year, you've watched more tape than I have, but I haven't seen one bit.
I mean, if you bring it up, it's the coaching staff cringes. They don't want to play anything but man.
That means everybody's got to be accountable, and others got to be able to help.
Yes, and they're doing a good job right now. They're making Waukee work for what they have.
Yes, they are. Now Gentry Williams goes down the left side, and she loses control of the ball out of bounds. It'll be Dowling basketball, and the Maroons force a turnover. 2-1 is our score in this girls' contest. Waukee leads Dowling. 4:15 remaining here in the first quarter from the Waukee gym. We want to thank Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates for supporting our broadcast all season long here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network's coverage of Dowling girls and boys basketball. Now Zedeker's pass underneath the Gipple is stolen away, and they're going to say battling in there with Gipple was, I believe, Miranda Peters, and they're going to give it to Waukee.
Yeah, they knocked it off her hands. Pass needed to be a little more accurate off that screen and roll, but the opening was there.
Dowling a little four-court pressure here, Scott, man-to-man. I'd say token pressure.
Token, yeah. Just want to make them work, let them think a little bit, give them a new look.
Warriors with the basketball. They try to dump it inside. This time it's Sorensen bringing it down. Now they reverse it to Gentry Williams. Long three. Up good. That's Kirsten Houck with the first three-pointer of the night by the Waukee Warriors. And the Warriors now lead 5-1 over Dowling. Warriors the other way. Here's Heller. Shot off the glass. No good. Ball tipped out of bounds. They're going to give it to Dowling after the missed left-handed shot by Marin Heller.
Yeah, Dowling's working hard on that offensive glass and offensive team rebound there.
And that's hard to teach if you can. It's really instinct and
yes,
playing ball and understanding, hey, that ball is not shot by you. You've got to follow it. All right, Zedeker for three in the corner. It's in and out. No good. Ice cold for the Maroons. Mara Yoki in the lineup with the rebound for Waukee.
That was a tremendous drive and kick there.
Now a long three up and no good by Lily Lampe of the Warriors. Rebound Dowling. Zedeker with it to Frerichs for three. Up, off the mark, no good. And rebound comes out to Waukee and Gentry Williams. The ball now tapped out of bounds as full court pressure by Dowling off a missed basket, which you don't see too often. Forces the Waukee to throw it in. Substitution for the Maroons, Macy Downing. 5'7" senior, transfer from Johnston into the lineup. And she'll replace Lauren Frericks.
It's good to see her get a chance here and probably replacing a little bit of Julia's minutes tonight.
All right, this is Kirsten Hauk bringing it up court for Waukee. It's Hauk and Sorensen. They're both point guards, and they both will share the time bringing the ball up. Yoki now gets it back out to Hauk. Hauk dribbles in the lane, out to Yoki. They play a little two-person game on the left wing. Yoki underneath, her shot blocked by Gipple, and a foul on Dowling, and 2 free throws coming for Mara Yoki. So the first foul on Dowling will be on Gipple. That'll be Emma's first.
Yeah, Emma got a little out of position there and tried to block the shot and just came across the body a little bit.
Mara Yoki, a 5'8" sophomore, averaging 6.5 points, 4.5 boards. First free throw, no good. Interesting, when she came into the game, Scott, they ran an ISO. Well, not really an ISO for her, but they ran a little two-player game with her and I believe Hauk.
Yeah. Trying to get that ball. Both teams are trying to do a good job to get to the basket and draw that defense for kickouts or beat them and get a layup.
Second free throw, no good. Ball slapped around and take it out of the way. Now here's Gentry Williams, who almost had the ball. Now gets a steal in the backcourt. Long three, no good by the Warriors as they take a page out of Dowling's playbook and kind of hang around the backcourt and get the steal, but couldn't convert. Dowling in the front court. Here's the pass in the corner, a three-pointer, no good by Tritton after the pass by Zedeker, but offensive rebound Dowling and Downing. Here's Zedeker at the left elbow. Wants to shoot, can't. Hands off to Heller, and the Maroons will reset. Good defense by Waukee. They stay in that man-to-man.
Yeah, Dowling's getting a lot of open threes off their driving kick, so they are doing a good job. When they hit their landmarks on the drive and force the help to come, they're getting open shots. They just need them to start falling here.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little of the Valley game where the Maroons did the dribble drive and they kicked it out, and Frericks had a night from the right corner of threes. Maroons still running their offense. Good defense by the Warriors. We're at the 1:20 mark of the first quarter. Waukee 5, Dowling 1 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Again, both teams give up defensively 37 points. Do you think we'll be over that mark tonight, Scott, huh?
It's not looking good right now.
Here's Heller with it. Marin pulls up on the right block, kicks it out to Zedeker. She dribbles to the free throw line, cut off. Nice defense. Now she leaves it, and a shot in the lane up and no good by Tritton. And the freshman will go to the free throw line for Dowling as a foul is on Waukee after the Maroons had a long possession there.
Right, a couple offensive rebounds. And they're doing a good job of slowing themselves down enough to get the possession, to get the drive and the shot they want. And that was just a good take to the basket and drawing the foul.
Layla Tritton at the free throw line. First free throw is good. Layla, a 57% free throw shooter in her first year of varsity basketball. The foul's on Lauren Knighty, a 5'10 freshman for Waukee. That's her first foul. She comes in averaging 6.5 points off the bench of head coach Danny Franklin in her first year. Second free throw by Tritton is up and good. So Dowling's points are all free throws. Dowling 3 out of 4 at the line tonight. It's 5-3 Waukee. Maroons have yet to hit a field goal here, Scott.
Yeah, they're struggling right now, but they're doing the right things offensively. They're doing things the coach is going to want them to do to get good shots.
I've got a whistle and a foul on Zedeker. Ava picks up the foul. She was battling the point guard there. That was Hauk, and they thought Hauk may have got away with a forearm, but nonetheless, Waukee works it inside. Shot no good by Gentry Williams, and the rebound out to Dowling. Maroons down court. They get it to Gipple, out to Zedeker. Here is Downing with it. Now leaves it for Zedeker for 3. It's no good. And a loose ball foul on Dowling as Miranda Peters came away with the offensive board, and a foul on Dowling. They're going to get Tritton for it. So Tritton picks up her first foul, team foul number 3 on Dowling. So both teams with 3 team fouls with 35 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Waukee is up 2, and they have the basketball.
Token pressure again.
Warriors advance it across the timeline. They work the baseline. This is Peters. Tries to throw it on the baseline and threw it away. She went into no man's land because she got caught under the basket with no angle.
She did, and it was a low pass trying to get out there, bounced a couple times right out of bounds.
Dowling basketball. Maroons trail by 2. They have yet to hit a field goal. See if that can change here. Tritton with it, coming off a dribble weave. They leave it for Heller for 3. Up good! Marin Heller gives Dowling its first lead with 6 seconds remaining. Waukee all the way down court across the timeline. They get it to Peters, and they can't get a shot off. So how about that? You trail the whole first quarter, but you lead at the end of the quarter, and that's what Dowling's doing right now. We'll take a break. It's Dowling 6, Waukee 5 in game 1 of our girl-boy doubleheader as we come to the end of the first quarter from the Waukee gym. Along with Scott Babinet, I'm Mark Amadale, and you're listening to Dowling Catholic Basketball here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Golden Rule Heating and Cooling. Since 1999, Golden Rule Heating and Cooling has been supporting customers with their rules to live by: respect, understanding, loyalty, expertise, and service. GoldenRulePHC.com.
And we're back here at the Waukee gym, underway in the second quarter. Dowling with the first possession, and a shot put up and no good by Layla Tritton of Dowling on their first possession. The ball goes out of bounds to Waukee as Dowling leads 6-5, and it came with a three-pointer by Heller, who got her first varsity start tonight in place of Dowling's Julia Moore with 6 seconds remaining, Scott. And now Waukee with the ball. Shot blocked by Gipple. Ball loose on the floor. Gipple retrieves it, and now to Downing. Macy Downing, who'll probably get some more playing time tonight with Julia Moore out. Now the ball goes out of bounds. I'll give it to Dowling. And Scott, I'm going to put you on the spot. What numbers do you have that you're trying to keep in the first quarter as far as unofficial stats?
Unofficially, I see Dowling leading the rebounding around 11-6 on that. They've been tremendous on the boards and not giving up a lot of second chance. Both teams have 3 turnovers unofficially.
Unofficially. Here's Frericks for 3, and it's good. So back-to-back threes by Dowling. Heller at the end of the first quarter, and Frericks to start the second quarter. And for Lauren, that's her 14th 3 of the year, and Dowling up 4. It's 9-5, Dowling over Waukee, and the Warriors now in the front court. I like this Warrior team. They're scrappy. They're young, just as Coach Franklin told me in our little pregame discussion. She's exactly right. She's got to love this team. They keep hanging in there, and they may be young and inexperienced, but they're battling.
They are, and they did throw that drift pass there. They're looking to do a lot of the same things that Dowling does on offense, a lot of drive and kick, using that drift pass from one side to the other on the baseline. And so, and back to the offense on – go ahead.
There's Sorensen with the shot as she gets loose, took the ball from the top of the key and struggled to get through the lane and put up a shot that was good. And now Emily Sorensen, another freshman for Waukee, with 4 points. Dowling with the ball underneath. The shot no good. Gipple with the rebound and put back up and good. She went right around Sorensen for the basket.
Yeah, Emma again, she's just dominating those boards. And, Dowling's getting a lot of what they want on offense. It's, again, those open threes just have to start falling, which hopefully they'll keep on the last track of what they've been doing.
Both teams stay man-to-man. Here's Lampy with it. Can't get a shot off, and now she leaves it for Gentry Williams. Dowling stays man-to-man in each set, but they're helping when somebody cuts the basket. And now here's Peters in the lane, and an off-balance shot, no good. Well defended that time by Gipple as Peters came from the wing, and it's rebounded by Dowling. And now a corner 3, up and no good by Frericks, and Peters with the rebound. A loose ball foul on the Maroons. They get caught for reaching in. That might be on Gipple again. That'll be her second, and it is. So Emma with 2 quick fouls here in the first half, and we may see her leave. Let's see. Yes, she will. So
That can be troublesome.
We're going to see Ellie Olson enter the lineup. Ellie, a 5'9" freshman. And she's got some big shoes to fill. She took Gippel's place. And Waukee with the basketball. Dowling by 4, 11-7, as we're under 5.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Waukee with the basketball. Warriors on the right mid-post and an off-balance shot and banked nicely off the glass. Good.
That was a nice
Kirsten
turn.
Haupt. That's Haupt with her 5th point. And that's a nice move. Use the glass very well. You don't see the kids, a lot of the kids not like to use the glass unless they're going in for a layup. And a mid-post shot off the glass is always good.
It sure has changed through the years.
Yeah, it has. Well, Zedeker misses the 3, no good, but once again, offensive board by Dowling. And Olson helped with that. A long 3 in the corner. It's no good by Tritton. Offensive board, Dowling. And that's Ellie Olson again with another offensive board. Down the lane, shot by Heller is no good. And Olson rips another rebound out, and now we're going to call a foul. There'll be a foul, rather, called. And Ellie Olson doing a little Emma Gipple
there you
action,
go.
huh?
Yeah, I was. When Emma goes out of the game, it's like, wait a second, how are we going to replace that relentlessness? And here comes Ellie, and she's doing a great job. And it's 3 quick rebounds for her.
Ellie Olson, a 5'9" freshman, replacing the senior captain, Emma Gipple, in the lineup. Gipple with 2 fouls, and Olson, I think she's got like 3 boards in just 1 possession.
Right. And that's a very good start. That's what you want to see when they come in.
All right,
that aggressiveness.
Zedeker, Tritton, Frericks in there for the Maroons, along with Heller. And now Frericks going to be called for the travel as she got loose in the lane.
Yeah, one too many turns, I believe.
Yeah, and there was no Euro step.
No.
So it'll be Olson and Frericks in the post for Dowling. The 3 guards are Tritton, Heller, and Zedeker. 11-9 is our score. Dowling with the lead over Waukee here at the Waukee gym. Play starting to fill up on a Friday night of high school girls and boys basketball after temperatures were in the single digits most of the week. Now a long 3 by Lampy. It's no good. Ball poked out of bounds in the backcourt as Mara Yoki kind of hung back and tried to create a turnover, and it'll be Dowling basketball. And now we're going to do a little offense-defense. Gipple in and Olson out, but I think Olson's out because she's been hustling out there when she's been playing.
When you get this opportunity, you just have to go so hard to prove that you deserve more minutes. And, in the long term, over the course of the season, that can really help your team so much.
Certainly can. And now Zedeker gets loose. She takes the ball from the top of the key, found a little seam down the lane, and a whistle and a foul on Waukee. And this will be on Lampy. This will be her first foul. And I think it's a 15th foul on the Warriors. And Zedeker to the free throw line. And her first free throw is good. And you look at we talked about it earlier. I know you wanted to mention that when you have guards that shoot over 80% and they're going to be in the game at the end, you hope they're in the game at the end and not fouled out. Zedeker's one of them as she makes the first and second free throw. So Ava with her first points tonight, Scott.
And you just hope that starts to get her feeling good about her shot, because she's had a couple open shots and just haven't gone. And sometimes, just get to that free throw line and get some rhythm going there.
No question about it. Now Waukee with the ball, corner 3 by Nighty. Lauren Nighty back in there. It's no good. Rebound Dowling. Here's Heller with it across the timeline. Pass down towards Frericks. Frericks, a bounce pass underneath the Gipple layup. Good. Frericks with the great assist there. She drew some traffic when she bounced towards the lane.
That's the essence of what Coach wants to see out those drives. Either a kick out or a dump off for an easy layup there. And they worked at the perfection that time.
5 points for Emma Gipple, playing with 2 fouls here in the first half. She was supposed to just go in on the offensive side, then come out for defense. That didn't quite work out, Scott.
Yeah, we don't get to go with a 6-on-6 model, right?
That's right. 15-9 is our score, Dowling by 6, and now a backcourt foul on Waukee. And again, well, the old gym days, we used to call it basket hanging.
Right.
But Dowling got the rebound, and the one Waukee player that hung back was Mara Yoki, and she picked up the foul. That'll be her first. And that'll be 16 fouls on Waukee. So Dowling will be in the bonus the final 3 minutes here of the half, leading by 6.
Right. They really need to just keep going to the basket and drawing fouls.
All right, here's Zedeker to the lane, and down the right side she goes. Her shot is up and left it short, no good. Rebound Waukee. Warriors down court. Here's Gentry Williams with it in the lane. Shot off the glass too strong. Ball slapped around, and Williams gets it back. Dribbles inside the free throw line. Leaves it for her teammate, and they're going to give the ball to Dowling as it went right off the hands of Lampy. It was actually tipped to her too strong, and she just deflected right off her.
Right. Sometimes those are hard to catch.
Yes, they are. So Dowling now with the basketball, leading by 6, 15-9. Zedeker on the pass to Frerichs. Lauren looks to cut, now backs it up, lobs it inside to Gipple. Gipple had to find the ball after the pass was a little errant, and she got it down, a whistle and a foul. On Waukee, this will be on Yoki, her second.
Yeah, and that set, Emma came up and set a screen for the point guard and then turned around after the pass and did another one. And now we're hitting the one-on-one time, and good time for Dowling to try to build this lead.
Emma Gipple at the free throw line. First one up, in and out, no good. And a rebound, Peters and Waukee. And you got the 3 of those 1-and-1s when you get to them, and you got to hit one of them to have the chance the second one, and Gipple didn't. Emma now 1 of 3 at the free throw line tonight. She has 5 points. 15-9 is our score. And a pull-up jumper is good by the Warriors. And Miranda Peters gets her first basket. Nice pass, or nice shot that time. It's 15-11 Dowling. Maroons in the front court. Here's Tritton with it. Top of the key to Frerichs. Lauren, a dribble at the elbow in the lane. Finds Gipple underneath. Her shot up and good. Had to use her hip to stave off Peters there, and Emma got it to fall.
That was another good play by Lauren driving and opening. Emma opened up for a great pass for another easy layup.
Dowling by 6, 17-11 over Waukee. Warriors in the front court, and a three-pointer up and good. That's Linda Lampe, the captain, with her first 3 of the night. And at 17-14, Dowling by 3 with 1:20 remaining in the half. Reminder at halftime, Clay Fieldking, the Dowling boys coach, will join us. Here is Gipple with it. Now out to Frerichs for 3. Up off the back iron. No good. Rebound, Gipple. And now she has to get away from traffic. Gets it out to Heller, left wing, and Dowling will reset with 1 minute to play. Here's Frerichs down the left side. Now caught underneath the basket. Picks up her dribble. Finds Gipple underneath. Through a slight seam. Her shot no good. Gets her own rebound. Out to Heller. Fakes the 3. Goes in the lane. Pull-up jumper. Good. Several opportunities for Dowling on the possession to keep the possession alive, and they come through with Heller.
Again, it's that relentlessness that you see. Just tremendous effort on part of Emma.
No question. Now back comes Waukee, and a three-pointer by Knighty is up and good. Lauren Knighty with her first 3 points of the night. She comes off the bench for head coach Danny Franklin at Waukee, and it's 19-17. Dowling by 2. As we approach halftime, Maroons are going to kind of spread it out. Zedeker with the ball between the circles. Dribble handoff to Downing as she loses. Now it'll be over and back.
Tritton.
Or check that. Tritton had the ball go off of her, and it'll be last possession apparently to Waukee with 8 seconds remaining, Scott.
Yeah, get Emma out of here so she doesn't pick up a cheap second or third foul here.
So Waukee now getting the basketball right in front of the scorer's tables, and it's nearly stolen away by Downing. Waukee gets it back. They get it to Peters. Her shot at the horn is no good. Rebound comes out to Dowling and Tritton, and the half-court shot is no good. So we go to halftime with Dowling leading Waukee 19-17 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Scott, what a first half. Low scoring. I think we're going to be fighting to get in the 40s tonight. But,
yeah, it's looking that way.
But who knows what happens in the second half. You know how that goes.
Yeah, well, both teams are getting shots that they want. They're just not following a consistent rate.
All right. We want to thank Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates for supporting our broadcast all season long. And we also like to invite you to stay connected to Iowa Catholic Radio through our newsletter. You can sign up at iowacatholicradio.com. Alongside Scott Babinett, I'm Mark Amadale, and we want to thank Jennifer Phelps, our studio producer. We'll be back as we total up some numbers here at halftime. It's Dowling girls leading Waukee 19-17 here at the Waukee gym, and we'll be back. Hopefully Clay Fieldking is making his way up. He is, and we'll talk to the Dowling boys coach after these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. How many times have you heard someone say that they don't like the Catholic Church because it's so dogmatic? Well, G.K. Chesterton says you cannot live without dogmas. You cannot act for 24 hours without making a decision based on some deeply held belief that you cannot prove. Man can be defined as an animal that makes dogmas. Trees have no dogmas. Turnips are singularly broad-minded. In truth, there are only two kinds of people: those who accept dogmas and know it, and those who accept dogmas and don't know it. So when someone objects to the Catholic Church for being too dogmatic, it only means that they are dogmatic against it, even though they have no idea what their own dogmas are. Want more than a minute? Visit us at chesterton.org.
And we're back here at the Waukee Gym alongside Scott Babinet. I'm Mark Amadale. Halftime score of our girls contest. It's Dowling 19 and Waukee 17. And now joined by the Dowling boys basketball coach. That's Clay Philking in his first year. A lot of first-year coaches. Danny Franklin over at Waukee in her first year, and now we have you. But you're a veteran coach. You got, 10 years of head coaching under your belt out west. The place that has 12 inches of snow all the time, Colorado.
Right. Yep.
Where my aunt lives, and beautiful country. But all right, Coach Philking coming off a great win, come from behind win over Urbandale on Tuesday night. Congratulations on that. We spoke to you after the game, and we were just kind of wondering which Dowling team's going to show up, the one that got the lead at Southeast Polk and then kind of let it slip away and you go to overtime, or the team that came out against Urbandale slow and finished fast. What's your thoughts?
I know. Well, I hope it's the second half team that we saw the other night. But that's been our challenge all year, though, Mark, as you know, just putting four good quarters together. And I think, with an inexperienced team that we have, that's common. It's typical. I mean, our guys, they see what they're capable of. And as a coach, the frustrating thing is to not be able to put 4 quarters like that together, but that's what we're working towards. And so, hopefully we see that second half team tonight for 4 quarters.
I was telling your assistant coach, Jimmy Nahas, we were watching the sophomores play, and of course, Coach Hinkinius, Pat was a longtime sophomore coach at Dowling, and then he moved over to Waukee to teach during their, they split schools and all that, and we were I said, I don't know if you looked good in blue when you were at Urbandale with Field King, or maroon, or now in purple. And I'll tell you what, Pat Hinkinius, one of the gems of high school coaching, sophomore coach at Waukee now, and it was kind of fun having fun with him. But I look back at my numbers. I told Nahas this. I said, Dowling hasn't won in this gym floor since, he probably told you this, February 13th, 2007, on a Tuesday night. I remember coming over here, and 2 kids that I had in my sophomore group, Taylor Bennett and my nephew, Pat Mitchell, were leading Dowling to its last win here. Now, Dowling won here in a sub-state final against Ankeny, but never have beaten the Waukee Warriors here. Coach, is tonight going to end all that? I mean, that's some of us are hoping for. We're wondering what's going on.
I'm hoping for it, too. I'm not going to make any promises. That's a long time. I didn't know that.
2007.
That's a 15-year drought there. And, obviously Dowling's had a lot of really good teams and really good coaching, obviously, before me. But Waukee is always a stiff challenge, so we'll see. Hopefully we can do something about it tonight, but we'll certainly have our hands full.
Okay, well, you give that speech in the locker room.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we haven't won here since 2006. The radio guy told me that. Well, let's talk about this Waukee team. What do we know about them? You look back, the school split. Waukee Northwest, I think, took most of the kids, but they had a couple bench players. I remember Cade Littlefield, whose sister is a tremendous basketball player, still is, playing college ball, and Vance Pfeiffer were their returners, and I think they're their leaders this year, along with Mason Costello, a sophomore who's contributing. So you have those 3. What's this Waukee team look like under a first-year head coach and ex-Dowling alum, and that is Kevin Kanaski calling the shots?
They're good. They're really young, and so they're the kind of team, like the film that we've watched, like every game that you see, like they keep getting better and better. They're improving at a really fast clip. I think they're 3-5 right now, and that's really deceiving. We talked to our kids about that. Like those games they've lost have been close games, most of them, and they're really good teams. But yeah, they're young. They're very skilled. Kevin does a great job with them. I love the stuff that they run. Very organized. They execute well. They got guys that can shoot it. Pfeiffer's a matchup problem for us. Being their 5, he's able to step out and shoot it. He can put it on the floor. You know, he's 6'7", so he can go to the block and shoot over a smaller defender. So that's a tough one for us. And then Littlefield, you know, he shoots it at such a high clip. There's no room for error there. If you lose him, it's going to cost you. So, and those other guys are really good too. I mean, we'll have our hands full, especially in their place. I think our key is to not let them get really comfortable early, especially in their home gym, and hang around and hopefully make a game of it in the fourth.
Coach, I know last game you talked about getting more kids in rotation coming out of the Christmas break, and you did. You got 10 in. I think 8 scored from what Devaney and I could ascertain. But you had a lot of fresh legs. You guys looked fresh in that fourth quarter, and that's when you made your comeback, and you're able to sustain that, and hopefully that'll continue, because that's a great lineup. You get 10 kids in a game, you got some gas in the tank in that fourth quarter.
You do. I'm not used to that, to be honest with you, Mark. I'm used to an 8-man rotation maybe. But we have to commit to that, you know, and those 10 kids are capable. We're not like scraping the bottom of the barrel with those guys, so we feel comfortable with them, and they'll get better the more experience they get. Those are kids that don't have any varsity experience coming to this season either, and so that takes time. That there's a comfort level and getting used to that speed of a varsity game. So they'll continue to improve, and we need them to contribute, because you're right, that did make a big difference the other night.
Certainly did, and I know Drew Marr didn't get off to a good start first half. They held him to 3 points Tuesday night against Urbandale, but you came back and won, and he started picking it up. But that's because others picked it up. You key on your leading scorer, well, somebody else has to step up, and Charlie Stewart, Carson Brown did a nice job there, and you had your bench play. So I would expect, and you probably will too, can ask you to do the same thing, make Marl's life miserable, at least for a while.
Absolutely. We expect that. We expect that really from this point forward. But to get guys like Carson and Charlie going a little bit, it takes a load off Drew's shoulders, and I think it takes away that mentality of having to force the issue a little bit, and you can let the game come to him a little bit more. So, hopefully we can get a few of those guys going tonight and be hard to guard.
Well, that's what you hope. That's what you hope. Well, let's see. Waukee, I think, has back-to-back. They go to Lincoln tomorrow afternoon, so your next game will be next Tuesday. So what are the keys tonight? Dowling, you don't have a game tomorrow, so what's the keys tonight? And with this group against Waukee, a team it's kind of in this infant year with new coach and new program.
We need to guard. We need to just be solid defensively, be disciplined, and make them shoot over a hand. You know, we can't have breakdowns in transition or in the half court and give those guys good looks, because they won't miss here in their home gym. And I think offensively for us, it's a matter of executing. They will do some things. We expect them to throw some wrinkles in there, because we know how well they know our personnel. And so we feel good about our preparation, and it's just a matter of our guys being poised and executing our stuff, and hopefully the shots go in.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck tonight. Friday night basketball. Place should be loud, and that's what it should be.
You're right.
It should be.
Right.
And maybe a chance to talk to you after the game.
Yeah.
Depends on what's going on, but you see where we're at. They got us in the euchre section up here.
Yeah, we're up here a bit.
My goodness. Well, that's what happens when I move Cataldo over to the boys' game, and they say, "Oh, Cataldo's with you. You're up 5 rows from the ceiling." So that's where they stuck us. But appreciate it if you come up,
Thanks,
Coach.
Mark. Appreciate
Best
it.
of luck.
Thank you.
Clay Filking, the Dowling boys basketball coach, joining me at halftime. Halftime of the girls' game. It's Dowling 19, Waukee 17. Scott Babman will rejoin the broadcast. We'll take a break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Amazon Smile is a simple way to support Iowa Catholic Radio. When you are shopping on Amazon, consider shopping through Amazon Smile instead. You get all the same great deals, and your order will also help support Iowa Catholic Radio. All you need to do is choose Iowa Catholic Radio as your nonprofit to support when you first log in, and Amazon will do the rest. Every Amazon Smile order you make, Amazon will donate to Iowa Catholic Radio. Support Iowa Catholic Radio while you shop at smile.amazon.com. And thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at the Waukee Gym, underway here in the second half as the Dowling girls lead Waukee 19-17. Scott Babinett rejoined the broadcast after visiting with head coach Clay Philking, the Dowling boys head coach in his first year at halftime. And Waukee had the ball first, and they couldn't get a shot to go. Rebound came out to Dowling, and here we are, the Maroons with their first possession of the second half. It's Heller, Zedeker, Tritton, and down the lane, a running jumper good, and that is Zedeker with her first basket of the game. Ava Zedeker with 2 free throws and now a field goal, has 4 points here, Scott.
Yeah, that was a good drive there to get her started in the second half, and Dowling really needs to get her going as the leading scorer and just keep going to the basket there.
For Waukee, it's Lily Lampe along with Emily Sorensen. I think they go back to their starters too, as Miranda Peters also in there, and we got a whistle and a foul called on the Maroons. This will be on Heller. Marin will pick up her first foul. Also out there for Waukee, Gentry Williams. So it'll be, and I believe Kirsten Hauk is also there. So Hauk, Sorensen, Lampe, Peters, and Williams. Free throw is good by Lampe, who had 3 points at halftime. Try to run down some first half scoring numbers. Waukee had Kirsten Hauk with 5 points, 4 points for Emily Sorensen, 3 points for Lily Lampe. Make that 5 points for Lampe now. She made both free throws. Miranda Peters with 2, and Lauren Knighty off the bench with 3. And the Warriors were 0 for 2 at the free throw line. And now down the lane, Heller's shot is blocked. Rebound out to Waukee. Warriors running. They get it down court to Hauk. Can't get a shot off, but leaves it for Sorensen. Dribbles in the lane. Her shot no good. Gets her own rebound. The ball tapped away by Tritton into the hands of Heller. So a pair of freshmen for Dowling cause a turnover. And this is Zedeker for 3, and it's good. How about that transition?
Yeah, that's exactly what Dowling wants out of transition there, that early open look.
Zedeker now 2 points at halftime, now has 5 here in the third quarter, and she has 7 for the ball game. It's 24-19 Dowling, and down the lane, a shot no good. Heller with the foul as Hauk took it to the basket and will come up shooting free throws.
Yeah, that's 2 quick fouls on Marin, so a couple reaches. And they did so well that first half not fouling and playing good solid defense, so they need to get back to that.
Hauk's first free throw is good. Again, as I mentioned, Waukee was 0 for 2 in the first half at the free throw line. They did not attempt a free throw in the second quarter, but they attempted both in the first quarter. Second free throw is no good by Hauk. Rebound Dowling. Zedeker in the front court. For Frericks. Lauren on the baseline. Loses out of bounds. They say it was off of Sorensen. It'll be Dowling basketball. For the Maroons at halftime, Marin Heller had 5 points. 7 points for Emma Gipple. 3 points for Lauren Frericks. Laura Tritton with 2 points. And that has changed somewhat, as we mentioned. Zedeker with 7 points right now. Now a whistle and a foul on Waukee, and this will be on Sorensen, her first. So fouls now starting to take effect here in the third quarter, Scott. That's the second team foul, or first team foul rather, on Waukee. 2 on Dowling. So
yeah, Dowling had a hard time getting the ball in, and so 50-50 ball actually turned into a good thing for Dowling. They drew the foul there.
Here's Zedeker, and a jump stop and basket at the left elbow. That's a nice move by the freshman Zedeker, and she now has 7 points here in the third quarter alone, 9 for the ball game. In transition, Waukee, a three-pointer no good by Hauk. Rebound Peters. Now stolen away. Peters pass, stolen away by Zedeker. Ava down the left side. Her shot too strong, no good. And the rebound out to Waukee. Ava had a chance at it, but didn't get it up on the square high enough. Now Waukee in transition. Corner 3, no good. Peters offensive rebound. And the Warriors now with the basketball. Williams with it. Now over to Lampe, the captain, down the lane. Shot with the left hand, no good. Rebound Gipple. First half to the second half.
Sure has. And right now, Waukee's doing to Dowling on the offensive side on the rebounding of what they did to them in the first half. So
Maroons guilty of a travel violation, so Tritton will sit down. And into the Dowling lineup once again, Macy Downing, the 5'7" senior. as Waukee will inbound the ball. Sorensen will throw it in. Hauk with it in the backcourt, guarded by Zedeker. Dowling has been man-to-man the whole game in their defensive sets. We haven't seen any zone, I don't believe, Scott, by Waukee.
Not at all.
Warriors have it. They work the right side. On the right block, this is Sorensen with it. Her shot no good. Rebound Gipple. One and done. Tried to isolate her in the right block, and now lead pass to Gipple goes out of bounds. Turnover against Dowling.
A little too much pace on that pass. She had the opening. She just laid it over the top to snap the pass.
Ellie Olsen back into the Dowling lineup. And we've got a timeout on the floor, and I believe this will be a full, so we'll take one ourselves. 4:15 remaining, third quarter. It's Dowling 26, Waukee 20 in this girls' high school basketball game from the Waukee Gym. Back in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
Peace be to you. Now there actually is such a thing in the world as authoritarianism. It is communism. What is the essence of authoritarianism? Well, I would say it was threefold. First, it subjects the mind to dogmas. 2, it makes fear the basis of obedience. 3, it destroys freedom of thought. Now, the church has none of these qualities. It could not have them. Because remember that our blessed Lord lived in the midst of authoritarianism. The people among whom he moved were under the power of the Romans. Furthermore, all of the Pharisees were authoritarian. So when, therefore, our blessed Lord founded his church, naturally, he made it a bulwark against all forms of authoritarianism.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
And we're back here at the Waukee Gym alongside Scott Babinet. I'm Mark Amadale, as it's Dowling leading Waukee 26-20 with 4:15 remaining here in this third quarter. And Scott, a well-deserved timeout, the first one of the game. And it was a full timeout by Dowling to get the, get some breath in the lungs for both teams.
Yeah, and they put in a couple subs here and try to get everything lined up defensively.
All right, now as Waukee has a basketball, whistling a foul on Dowling.
Ellie Olsen.
Well, they're going to get Downing for the foul. I knew it was a 1, but I didn't know which one, 30 or 40. So Downing picks up the first foul, team foul number 3 on Dowling. 1 on Waukee as we're in the final 3 minutes and 50 seconds of the third quarter. Waukee has had leads of 6 points in the first half over Dowling. The Maroons' largest lead is right now at 6. Well-played game, defensive played game, and now we've got a whistle and a foul. I'm going to call it on on Dowling. This will be on Heller, and that'll be her third. Marin got the start tonight, and now she's in foul trouble, and Tritton will be back in the lineup for the Maroons, so one freshman replaces another.
That's a tough start to the half for Marin. She's trying to play hard and fight through screens, and probably just got a little too aggressive on that one.
Waukee inbounds the ball underneath their own basket. Hauk gets it up top to Ella Tweeton, who's in there for the first time tonight. Leave it for Gentry Williams. Over to Tweeton. Now left side to Hauk. Being very patient as Waukee. Tweeton in the lane. Can't get a shot off. Now leaves it for her teammate, and a shot blocked from behind by Gipple. Bodies on the floor, and we've got a jump ball. There's a lot of action under there. Gipple was involved with some of that.
She got a good block there, I believe. And, she's just so strong inside.
And it's deceptive, because he's at 6 foot or right thereabouts, and it's deceptive. She's playing like a 6'2", 6'3" player. So
she is.
Doing a great job. Dowling with the ball. Here's Gipple on a dribble handoff from Zedeker. Dowling attacking the glass on the right to left in front of it. Her shot no good. Ball slapped around, and Tweeton comes away with it, and a jump ball called as Dowling reaches for the ball and it ties it up. It'll be Waukee possession.
Yeah, Emma made a strong move there. The shot did not fall. Dowling looks like they're a pick up full court again.
All right, Sorensen back in the Waukee lineup as she replaces Gentry Williams, who will sit down. Warriors in the front court. Here's Joensen with it. Her shot up and good. She went right and took it right at Gipple that time.
Yeah, she went strong, and Emma had hands up to contest. She just finished well.
First basket of the game for Mara Joensen. And it's 26-22. Waukee trailing by 4 to Dowling. Maroons going right to left towards the north basket. A backdoor cut and a layup no good by Gipple. She's fouled. Great feed that time by Zedeker.
Yeah, Ava had a nice drive there, pulled it back out, and Emma cut, timely pass. The shot just did not fall.
Hauk will pick up her third foul, so we're seeing players with 3 fouls. Hauk for Waukee, Heller for Dowling with 3. Free throws coming. Gipple hits the first. Emma tonight with 8 points now. She had 7 at halftime. Dowling went 2 for 3 at the free throw line in the second quarter. They are now 5 of 7. Make that 6 of 8 at the line with 2:20 remaining here in the third quarter. Second free throw, no good. Put the media jinx on her.
There you go.
That does exist, Scott, just so you know. I know you may not think it does, but it does.
Don't do that.
My bad. Now Waukee down the lane. Shot no good. Rebound Dowling. Zedeker in the front court. Maroons by 5. Zedeker a little shot in the lane. Nice little jumper, no good. Left it short. Rebound out to Waukee. Both teams playing hard. And now the ball goes off of Gipple out of bounds as Gentry Williams back in there lost possession of the dribble, and it deflected off of Gipple.
Yeah, it was right there for the taking. It just rolled right out on her.
That happens sometimes. And now we got a illegal screen called by on Waukee on the, says Tyler Brady.
Yeah, Marin earned that one. She fought through the first one, got a foul last time, and this time she fought through and got it her way. Dowling did a good job of defending that, though.
Well, we got a problem. They did not come over the scorer's bench and tell them who the foul was on, and they can't do anything till next dead ball because the scorer's bench is wondering, okay, who was it on? They can kind of assume, and we'll have to catch up on it. Gipple with the basketball for Dowling, and now she throws it away in the backcourt. It'll be over and back, and now the scorer's table will get involved. You'll hear the buzzer. Maybe. Have no idea. Haven't posted the foul. All right.
You think they called 5 seconds?
No, he had the offensive foul, illegal screen set. And I didn't know if there was one. I didn't see any contact, but nonetheless, minute 25 remaining. Dowling with a 27-22 lead here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Hamadale alongside Scott Babinet. Scott, we've talked to many times. The state tournament is our post-game show, and now he's doing the color tonight. And now a shot by Waukee, no good. Rebound Zedeker, and she was fouled and pushed out of bounds.
14 fouls for both teams now.
Foul will be on Sorensen, her second. Oh, okay, Ukiel picked up the foul, not Sorensen. Sorensen with 1 foul. Minute to play here in the third quarter. Dowling with the basketball. It's Ferrix, Zedeker, Gipple, Tritton, and Heller, the 5 that started tonight for Dowling. Maroons playing, as we mentioned earlier, without Julia Moore, who is on a trip to Florida, and she should be back for next Tuesday's game, as Dowling will be on the road at Valley Tuesday night. We'll have the game on Iowa Catholic Radio, actually both games, so join us 6 o'clock from the Valley Gym. Here is Ferrix for 3. No good, and a rebound Waukee and Mara Joensen. 30 seconds to play, Dowling by 5. Both teams have had a 6-point lead, Scott, and have not got any further. Now Waukee wants to talk it over, and we'll keep it here with 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Dowling 27, Waukee 22. I want to remind you, I want to thank Ashworth Vision Clinic along with Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Construction Professionals for supporting our broadcast all season long here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. And reminder, you can listen to Iowa Catholic Radio with Alexa. Say, Alexa, set Iowa Catholic skill. Then ask Alexa to open Iowa Catholic Radio anytime you want. And we got Alexa over the Christmas break, and the dog is scared to death to be upstairs. So guess where she's at tonight? In the man cave with me. That's how that works with Alexa and animals, Scott Babinet.
Yeah, my grandsons, when they were staying with us, they're 6 and 4, and they kept talking to Alexa. So that was an interesting thing for a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
How'd that conversation go?
They speak a lot of Spanish, and so, but they lost a lot of it, so they were asking Alexa how to say things in Spanish.
Sure.
They tell Alexa they loved her, and that always brought an interesting song. So,
I'll bet it did. Scott Babinette, the former assistant coach, spent 5 years in the Dowling bench with Coach Kristen Marr when she was hired 6 years ago, and you were the first year with Kristen, first 5, and 4 of those are with some young college girl named Caitlin Clark, now playing for Iowa. And here's a shot that's blocked out of the timeout. Waukee with it. And we'll get back to that in a minute here, Scott. But great memories there. We got to have some Clark stories. We got to have some Clark stories. Of course, her parents should be here for the boys' game as Caitlin's brother Colin comes off the bench for the Dowling boys. All right, here's a three-pointer at the horn. It's no good, and we've come to the end of the third quarter with the score. Dowling Catholic 27, Waukee 22. And along with Scott Babinette, I'm Mark Amadale. We'll be back with the fourth quarter from the Waukee gym tonight. Jennifer Phelps is our studio producer, and we'll be back with the fourth quarter after these messages here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Thought of the day with Monsignor Frank Bagnano.
Prayer is traditionally defined as raising our minds and our hearts to God. Our minds contain the truths about our loving God. Our heart expresses our love for God. Prayer is often strengthened by our bodily expression of devotion, such as kneeling or folding our hands. A very helpful prayer, by the way, at night, lying in bed, is the sign of the cross. As I lie in bed, I raise my mind and heart to God. It goes like this: Father, I thank you for the blessings of today. Jesus, forgive me my sins and shortcomings. Holy Spirit, inspire me and guide me for tomorrow. The perfect way to put ourselves in the arms of our loving God as we fall asleep under our Father's watchful gaze. Try the simple prayer tonight. It's a beautiful way to have a good night's sleep. And that's today's Thought of the Day.
And here we go. This is the fourth quarter.
Well, you heard it there from our PA announcer here at the Waukee gym, Mark Amadale, Scott Babinette. We start the fourth quarter in game 1 of our girl-boy doubleheader. Dowling girls leading 27-22. I told you, Scott, both teams only give up 37 points each on defense, and we're struggling to get in the 30s, let alone the 40s. You thought it'd be a little higher than that. These teams are playing defense.
50s, 60s, yes.
Is this?
I didn't believe you, did I?
Are Coach Meyer and Coach Franklin, the respective coaches, taking a page out of the Iowa State men's playbook?
It sounds like it. Seems like it, yes.
Yeah, it certainly does, at least through 3 quarters, as Dowling outscored Waukee 8-5 in that third quarter. Maroons led 6-5 at the end of 1. Outscored Waukee 13-12 in the second quarter to lead by 2 at halftime, and now a basket up and good by Marr Jokiel. So Jokiel with her 4th point off the bench for Danny Franklin, and now a turnover. Waukee with the ball. They bounce underneath the Houck, and she can't get a shot off, and the Warriors will reset. 27-24. Dowling's lead is now 3, and now Lampy at 3. Banks it off the glass. Good. And we're tied at 27 with 6.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Wow. Lampy with her 8th point. And a timeout on the floor. This will be a 30-second break. We'll keep it here. And the Warriors start out with a 5-0 run here in the fourth quarter. And the Maroons now have to regroup.
Yeah, they've started off with a couple turnovers without getting a shot up, and Waukee's taking full advantage of that to start. This game's really slowed down in terms of pace. The first half we had a lot of shots and good pace to the game, but not a lot of makes. So a lot of turnovers for Dowling in the second half.
And it certainly is. We'll get you caught up with some of the numbers thus far. So at the free throw line for Dowling, they went 1 of 2 in that third quarter. They are now 6 of 9 at the line. Waukee is 3 of 6 at the free throw line. Mentioned the Maroons led by 2 at the end of the first half and outscored Waukee 8-5 in the third quarter to take a 5-point lead. But it's a 5-0 run to start the fourth quarter here for Waukee. Let's see what changes here, Scott. Same starting lineup on the floor for Dowling. Zedeker, Heller, Tritton, the 3 guards, along with Frerichs and Gipple. Here's Tritton, bounce pass, skip pass in the corner to Heller. Her shot no good. Rebound on the weak side to Gipple, but they're saying foul called on Waukee before the putback. It'll be Dowling basketball underneath.
Yeah, Dowling did a good job moving the ball and getting an open shot, and then Emma sealed on that weak side as she usually does.
Fouls on Sorensen, her 3rd. So Hauk and Sorensen for Waukee with 3 fouls each, along with Jokiel. Here's Zedeker with it. Leaves it for Heller at the free throw line. Waukee staying man-to-man. And the pass thrown away by Heller. She tried to hit Tritton in the corner. That's an unforced error there. I don't think they were on the same page. I think Marin thought Tritton was going to do a cut up towards her, and she didn't.
Yeah, they're not functioning very well in this 4th quarter at the start.
Waukee with the basketball. They spread the court and down the lane. A shot no good by Jokiel, and a jump ball called as a tie-up. It'll be Waukee possession. Team fouls, Waukee with 5, Dowling with 4. Bruins have 3 timeouts remaining. Waukee has 4 remaining. Warriors will throw it in. Hauk underneath their own basket. Gets to Lampy. They run a flex cut underneath. They can't hit Sorensen with it. And Waukee will run their offense here, Coach.
Yeah, there's a good closeout off that inbounds pass.
Now down the lane. A shot no good by Waukee. Foul on Dowling and free throws coming. There'll be Tritton with the foul. That'll be her 2nd. Heller has 3 fouls for the Maroons. He's the only Dowling player in foul trouble at this hour. Waukee has 3 players with 3 fouls. Hauk, Sorensen, and Jokiel. First free throw in and out, no good. Still tied at 27 as Waukee couldn't knock him down. And Dowling with the basketball. Right to left, the Maroons in their visiting road maroon uniforms and now traveling on Tritton as she tried to come to a jump stop and got knocked off balance.
And that's 4 turnovers in this beginning of this quarter. And he just stringed together some quality possessions here.
Waukee going left to right. Their bench to our right on the south end of the gym. Dowling's on the north end to our left. Here's a pass as Hauk brings it up, and now battling with it is Gipple, and she neither took it away from Jokiel. Waukee spreads the floor, Scott. 4 out, and once in a while 1 in. Otherwise, they look for driving angles.
Yeah, they're going 5 out with these 5 guards right now and just trying to drive and cut on this.
In the lane, a shot off the glass, good. That's Sorensen with the basket. So Sorensen with her 6th point. 29-27, Waukee now with the lead. Over Dowling with under 5 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Play starting to fill up here at the Waukee Field House. Boys game to follow. We'll have it right here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Here's Heller with it. Good defense by the Warriors. Heller down the lane, kicks to Zedeker in the corner for 3. It's good! And the Maroons have the lead by 1. Ava Zedeker with her 2nd 3 of the night. And she has 12 points, 30-29 Dowling.
That was a good set, offensive set there.
And well executed. It's one thing one thing to have a good set, but you got to knock the shot down, and Zedeker did. 30-29, Dowling by 1. Maroons in transition. Here's Tritton on the baseline, and she's fouled. We're going to get Hauk with the reach in, and that'll be her 4th.
That was a good, strong drive by Layla. She stayed strong with the ball in tight quarters there and drew that foul. So next foul, get Dowling to the 1-on-1.
Yep, 16 fouls now on Waukee. Dowling with 5. Maroons inbound the ball to Heller. From Heller to Gipple. Dowling now waiting for a cutter. They try to work it inside to Gipple. They do. Pass underneath. Her shot no good with the left hand. Gets her own rebound. And underneath, a Euro step and a shot up and good. Tritton with the assist and Gipple with the basket.
Yeah, again, there's that relentlessness of Emma Gipple going in there and rebounding her miss.
32-29, Dowling by 3. 3:45 remaining, and now a block shot by Gipple. I'm surprised that wasn't a jump ball.
Definitely should have been.
Jokiel with the header shot block. And now Waukee with a 5 out, nobody in. They're trying to create lanes. A long three by Joensen, it's no good. And a whistle and a jump ball as Zedeker tied up Sorensen on the rebound, much to the disdain of the Waukee fans around us.
Yeah, that call went Dowling's way.
That's what they were saying next to me. We are on the enemy territory, Scott. I didn't tell you that. We don't always get a broadcast from our home side. 32-29. Dowling by 3. The Maroons in the front court. Here's Zedeker. Every Waukee foul will put Dowling to the line.
Dowling just needs to be patient here at this point and get the shot they want.
This is something they had trouble doing. Remember the Valley game back in December, closing out games, and we already talked about their free throw shooting. Heller and Zedeker well over 80%. The ball will probably be in their hands. Zedeker and Heller are underneath. Her shot up and good from the right side. It looked like she went through some traffic there, Scott.
She sure did. She drove hard right through there and finished over a couple taller players.
7 points for Heller, and we got a timeout on the floor. We'll take one ourselves. Dowling 34, Waukee 29. With 2:48 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Back in 1 minute from the Waukee Gym here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel, 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
And we're back here at the Waukee Gym alongside Scott Babinet, Mark Amadale, as we come out of the timeout by Waukee, and a whistle and a foul on Dowling. This will be on Layla Tritton. That'll be her third foul. So she joins
Marion
Heller with 3 fouls. I'm just double checking the board here, Scott. Yeah, so Dowling with 2 players with 3 fouls. Warriors get loose as they inbound the ball. The shot no good off the glass by Emily Sorensen, left it too strong. Dowling with the weak side rebound. The Maroons lead by 5 with 2:10 to play. And what's the game plan here? Because and we're going to see Gipple guilty of the travel, but
that's not it.
Yeah, that's not the game plan. But free throw shooting probably and uncontested layups, that'd be a good shot. But after that, let them foul you.
Yeah, they just have to understand they don't have to force anything with the lead. You don't want to play rushed. You just want to handle the ball, stay out of trouble, and wait till you get the shot you want, or force them to foul you.
All right, here's Sorensen with it for Waukee. Hand off to Lily Lampe, top of the key. Trying to hand it off to Hauk, and she can't. Over to Joensen, who's gotten some playing time here late with Peters on the bench. Joensen with it, nearly had it stolen away. Leaves it for Lampe for 3. It's off the back iron, no good. Ball deflects off the backboard on the rebound, and who else? Gipple comes away with it, and Dowling with the ball. Here's Zedeker down court, and she threw it away. Tried to get it to Heller. All the way down court is Gentry Williamson.
What a play.
That was a great play by Heller. Long 3, no good by Hauk, and the rebound Dowling. And yes, it's picked up the pace a little bit here. Waukee trying to scramble. Dowling just trying to work their offense. This is what Coach Meyer and Coach Danner are yelling. It's like, slow down. Timeout Dowling. All right, 65 seconds remaining. Here in the fourth quarter, we'll keep it here. Dowling 34, Waukee 29 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. We want to thank Dental Associates, the folks at Mercy One, and the Catholic Tuition Organization for supporting our broadcast all year long. You can listen to Iowa Catholic Radio anytime at iowacatholicradio.com. the Iowa Catholic Radio app and through the Iowa Catholic Radio Alexa skill. Some of the options. Understand you've used a few of those, Scott Babinet, whether you're in California traveling or maybe in Illinois traveling, visiting your family.
Yes, we have.
Appreciate that. Well, here we go. What's Coach Marr drawing up here?
Well, I think she's just obviously you want to hold on to the ball here a little bit, and if you can get a wide open layup, that's fine. You want to keep it in the hands of your free throw shooters, Heller and Zedeker, and I'm sure Emma Gipple will be there for pressure release if they try to trap. But, if they do come out aggressively and trap and you get the opening, go get that layup.
And if I'm Danny Franklin, I'm thinking, well, maybe when Tritton or Frericks get the ball, foul them. They're the low percentage free throw shooters on the Dowling team, and Gipple is at 57%, so there's some things to think about. And
it definitely is. They're running their sideline pass here.
Dowling inbounds the ball. Minute to play, and the ball is in the hands of Tritton, and she's fouled, and she'll go to the line. So maybe a 57% free throw shooter is Layla Tritton. She's 2 for 2 tonight, and a 57% free throw shooter on the year, so maybe not a bad foul by Coach Franklin's Waukee team. We'll see.
This is where you learn.
Front end of a 1-and-1. Free throw rolls off, no good. Rebound, Gipple between two players. Tries to get it to Tritton. She threw it away. Tough break for the Maroons with 54 seconds remaining. Dowling by 5, and Waukee will have the ball. Maroons have no fouls to give. They have 16 fouls. Waukee inbounds it. Here's Hauk with it in the front court. Dribbles down the left side to the lane. Her shot is blocked out of bounds. It'll be Waukee basketball. Good defense that time. I think she got by Zedeker, but Gipple was down there to help, and she just stood there.
I think that's Emma's 5th block of the night. She's just been good on that help.
Well, she leads the team with 15 coming in, and by your unofficial stats, she's got 20 on the air, but we'll find out how that shakes out. 45 seconds remaining. Waukee inbounds the ball, and we've got a whistle and a foul called before the pass. It'll be on Heller, and that'll be her 4th. So Marin picks up.
Yeah, that is not a foul you want at all.
Oh, with no time off the clock. So at the free throw line will be Mara Yokeel, who has 4 points tonight, and this will be a 1-and-1. Yokeel's first free throw, good. Yokeel, a 5'8" sophomore, 33% free throw shooter on the year. Second one coming. She's 1 for 3 tonight. It's up and off the back iron, too strong, no good. Ball tapped off of Tritton into the hands of Gipple. Dowling with the ball. Waukee thinking about fouling. They get it to Zedeker with 35 seconds. Zedeker across the timeline to avoid the 10-second backcourt violation. Now it'll be Zedeker, Gipple, and Heller. The 3 with the ball. Zedeker with it and a foul called on Waukee. This will be on Yokeel. That'll be her 4th.
And what they did there was nice. Zedeker had the ball. They're getting close to 5 seconds. She got it to Emma, who opened up for her, and then Emma got it right back to her.
So at the free throw line is Zedeker. First free throw is good. Zedeker with 2 points at halftime and really exploded in that third quarter where she had 7 of her 9 points. She now has 11 with that free throw being good. Second one on the way. It's no good. And the ball tipped out of bounds off of Waukee, as who else? Gipple was battling in there. They say it went off a Waukee player there, Scott.
Yeah, again, it's that relentless pressure, and she's hard to box out. I mean, you watch her in practice, she just never lets up. It's
20 seconds remaining, Dowling by 5 and the basketball. Here's Zedeker. And avoids Williams, and she went down, and now her ankle is, she's limping on that left foot. Now whistle and a foul on Waukee, and this will be on Lampe, her 2nd, and free throws coming for the Maroons. Coach Franklin may have to take Gentry Williams out. It's like she twisted her ankle trying to defend Zedeker, but she's staying in for now. And the first free throw is up and good. That's Tritton at the line.
Dowling will be in the double bonus from that one, but only 9 seconds left, so.
That's a 19 foul on Waukee. Dowling with 7. Tritton with her 3rd point. Second free throw, no good. Rebound, Waukee, and a foul on Dowling with 7 seconds remaining. Let's see who they get. I think it's going to be Gipple.
Yes.
That'll be her third foul. Following the game, we'll have our post-game show. We'll round up and total up the scoring for both teams. First, then we'll transition to the boys' game. Dowling and Waukee coming up as Jimmy Cataldo will slide in after watching the Dowling sophomores, where his son plays for, suffer their first loss to former coach Pat Henkinney. A second free throw is no good. Fight for the rebound as Yulkiel is at the line. And what do we got? A tie-up and a jump ball. It'll be out of bounds to Waukee. So Houck will throw it in with 5 seconds remaining. And now it's the steal on the baseline by Zedeker. She timed the pass, and now a backcourt foul on Waukee, and Zedeker with 2 seconds remaining will go in and try to close it out here. Dowling 36, Waukee 30. And as I said, Scott, both teams averaged 37 points defensively, and look where we're at.
I didn't trust you, right?
I understand that. I get that from everybody up here. Whoever I invite.
I should have listened to your experience on this one.
Zedeker's first free throw is short. A rare miss for Ava. 36-30, Dowling by 6 with 2 seconds remaining. Nobody at the free throw line for the Maroons other than the shooter, Zedeker, as Heller, Gipple, Frericks, and Tritton all back. Second free throw is good. That should do it. 37-30 is our final. Low-scoring affair, but the Dowling girls come away with a road win, and that sets up the rematch with Valley this Tuesday night. The Maroons improve their record to 11-0, and Waukee falls to 6-4. And Scott Babinet, what a game we saw. And I told you, that 37 mark for both teams' defenses is going to remain in effect.
Yes, that's a
37-30 final, Dowling.
Yeah, that was a hard-fought 200th win for Coach.
It is. Thanks for bringing that up. Career win, number 200.
Good landmark for her.
Absolutely. And Coach Kristen Meyer also coached at Nevada, took them to a state title and a state runner-up. We congratulate her on win number 200. We'll have her on at halftime of the boys' game, but the final score here, Dowling 37, Waukee 30. And Scott, we'll take a break, come back, and we'll total up the scoring and whatever statistics you were able to put together. We'll take whatever you have, and we'll get to our post-game show. What a game it was here, a low-scoring affair here in Class 5A, the Central Conference, CIML Central Conference game between Dowling and Waukee, and a final from the Waukee gym. In game one, it was Dowling 37, Waukee 30. We'll take a break and come back with our postgame show after these messages here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
Why do I have to go to church on Sunday?
Aren't your best friends the ones you only see once in a while? Like after you've gotten to all the really important stuff. Or maybe just on Christmas and Easter. I don't think so. But lots of people let their relationship with God go just like that. God invites each of us to a deep relationship with Him. In the time of Christ, when someone invited you to share a meal with them, they were inviting you to be a part of their family. That's what God does in the Mass. And this is no ordinary meal. In the Eucharist, we receive the living body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus. So, if we say no to the invitation to Mass, we're saying, I don't want to be a part of your family. I don't want your sacrifice. I don't want your redemption. And it's pretty hard to have a relationship with God when we've rejected Him so completely. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youngcatholicminute.com.
Dominating fashion.
And we're back here at the Waukee Gym alongside Scott Babinet, Mark Amadale. Scott, thank you for sitting in tonight, as this will be our final segment together as we start totaling things up and discuss a little bit about the game. But the Dowling girls win tonight. Appreciate getting you away from the recliner. I know you're not coaching anymore. You missed those 6 days of coaching a week during the infamous November through March period. But
it's been an interesting year, I'll say that.
I'll bet it has, and I'm glad you were able to tune in for some of the contests. But tonight, nothing like being here, even though we're halfway up to the ceiling here at Waukee. But it's always good to be here.
Yeah, this is a tremendous venue, and Waukee always has a good crowd. And even with the split of the schools and the system, it's still a good, loud crowd tonight. So it was fun for the maiden voyage here.
Yeah, it certainly was. And let's take a look at some of the scoring in tonight's game, as I've still totaled up some of the scoring. But Dowling wins it in a very low-scoring game, 37-30. And Coach Kristen Marr, career win number 200, as she coached 6 years at Nevada. And, of course, in her 6th year here at Dowling. And one more win, she'll have career win number 100 at Dowling. It might come next week, and it might not, because you got Valley and Johnston, number 9 and number 1, waiting for you next week, those teams. So.
Right, yeah. You know, and I just have to say, Coach Meyer is such a class individual, great coach, mentor for these girls. She puts a good staff around her that helps, and I'm sure she'll deflect away some of the credit she gets, but anything she gets is well-deserved, and I'm really proud of her and for her. Enjoyed the time I got to work with her, and again, she's a good reflection on her family, and I don't know if they're here tonight or they're listening on the radio, but she does her family proud.
We get a lot of streaming updates from the Owine area, if you know what I mean. Northeast Iowa well represented. Yeah. So let's take a look at the scoring tonight. We'll start with Dowling, Scott. I have the Maroons with 2 players in double figures, led by the freshman Ava Zedeker. Had 2 points at halftime, had 12 in the second half to finish with 14 points. And then 10 points for Emma Gipple. She had 7 of those 10 points at halftime. Right. Rounding out scoring for Dowling, Marin Heller with her first varsity start, as Julia Moore was out of town tonight and on a trip down to Florida. So Heller gets a start. She had 7 points. 3 points each for Layla Tritton and Lauren Frericks with 3 points. Dowling 9 of 17 unofficially at the free throw line tonight for Waukee. No one in double figures. They were led by Lily Lampe, their senior captain, with 8 points. Matter of fact, the lone senior on this Waukee team. 6 points for Kirsten Hauk and for Emily Sorensen. And then 5 points for Mara Yokeel off the bench. And Lauren Knighty with 3 points. Waukee went 4 of 9 at the free throw line. That's some of my numbers and some of your thoughts there, Scott.
Yeah, I just think that, you know, as I said at the beginning, I was interested to see how both these teams would come out, and I'm really impressed with the effort of both. I don't think Dowling took anything for granted. They're on their roll, and it's been a good way to win. I'm sure Coach will be happy with the defense, and, you know, I was impressed with Waukee's fight, because that was a tough game for them Tuesday, and sometimes it's hard for kids to recover, and they really did a good job tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned Waukee's fight. They played Johnston on Tuesday, number 1 Johnson. And, oh, by the way, they have them again later in the year in February. But they'll have Johnston here. They were at Johnston, got beat 83-33, the running clock and everything Tuesday night. So this Waukee team and Coach Franklin doing a good job getting them ready for Dowling, another top 5 team they faced.
They did. And, again, both teams played really hard out here. A lot of missed open shots tonight. It just so I think both teams got a lot out of their offense that they wanted as far as opportunities. And just the conversion, like you said, you can have a good possession, but if you don't finish it, you know, but you still have to build off. Okay, this is what we did. I think the second half, Dowling had a little more problems with the turnovers, especially at the beginning of the fourth quarter. But then they recovered. They didn't panic, and that's hard to do with a young team, because it would be easy to panic, but their defense got stuck in and really closed down a lot of the drive lanes.
Well, the Maroons, Scott, won every quarter. Dowling got out to a 6-5 lead at the end of the first quarter, outscored Waukee 13-12 in the second quarter. The Maroons led by 2 at halftime. Dowling outscoring Waukee 8-5 in the third quarter. And the Maroons outscore Waukee 10-8 in the fourth quarter, even though Waukee got the game tied. I believe it was at 27 at one point, and then we saw the timeout, and then Dowling went on a little run out.
They did, and they scored their 10 points to 3, I think, the rest of the way. So they did, like I said, they didn't panic when it got tied, and they're like, that's one thing you'd worry about with a young team. Are they going to try to do too much? And they just really – a couple turnovers but they didn't panic. They got back on defense and did what they needed to do.
Absolutely. I think it was a 5-0 Waukee run to start the fourth quarter, and the Maroons outscored Waukee 10-3 to end the fourth quarter and the game.
Yeah, I think Dowling started the fourth with four turnovers in their first 5 possessions, and that you just can't do that. But again, these close games are good for building confidence, and you learn how to play in them. And Dowling's had a few, and I think that helped them down the stretch tonight.
Well, Scott, appreciate you sitting in. Anybody you want to give a shout-out? I always invite my guests, not Cataldo, he's sitting right behind us, but other than Jimmy, anybody you want to give a shout-out there who may be listening at home at the Babinot household?
I don't know if my wife was. She kicked me out tonight. She said, "You got to go do this." I think she's tired of me being around that much.
Yeah.
But, if she's listening, hi to my beautiful wife, Jennifer. We got 32 years yesterday.
Congratulations.
So thank you. And then all our alumni who may or may not be listening tonight, it's always good to hear from them. And, of course, Coach Meyer's family and O-line, brothers and sisters listening. Again, you can be proud of your daughter. She's a tremendous person, and I'll just end on that.
All right, Scott, thank you. We'll talk to you Tuesday night at the Valley Gym. You know where that's at, don't you?
I do.
The old field house.
Yes.
Bill Cold Iron Field House is where we'll be, and I think we'll be on the floor, if I'm not mistaken. But COVID kind of messed things up the last few years, so you never know where we're going to come back to or where COVID's going to lead us and all that stuff.
Yeah, that won't be good for my ADD.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Have a good night. Good call in the second game.
You bet. That's Scott Babinett, former Dowling assistant coach, first year retired. Brought him up here to fill in tonight here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Up next for Waukee, they have an afternoon game tomorrow on the girl-boy doubleheader. Waukee at Roosevelt at 3 and 5 p.m. And for Dowling Catholic, their next game is next Tuesday night, which will have an Iowa Catholic Radio Dowling at Valley. And we'll be on the air at 6 o'clock. But stay tuned. We got the boys' game coming up here on Iowa Catholic Radio. As they're warming up now, Jimmy Cataldo will move in after he and Scott Babinett exchange seats. As we got about 10 minutes until tip-off. Dowling and Waukee, the boys' game. The Maroons have not won here at the Waukee Gym. It dates back to 2007, I believe, is what we looked it up. Yeah, February 13, 2007. That's almost 15 years since Dowling's had a win here over Waukee. We'll see if that changes tonight. Until then, we'll take a break. Final score of the girls' game. Dowling 37, Waukee 30. Dowling girls improved to 11-0, ranked number 4 in Class 5A. The Waukee Warrior gals fall to 6-4 on the season. This is Mark Amadale. Stay tuned. The pregame show for the boys' game coming up with Jim Cataldo here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Golden Rule Heating and Cooling. Since 1999, Golden Rule Heating and Cooling has been supporting customers with their rules to live by: respect, understanding, loyalty, expertise, and service. GoldenRulePHC.com.
And we're back here at the Waukee Gym as we get set for the boys' game tonight here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, as the Dowling girls picked up win number 11 with the win tonight, 37-30 over Waukee. And now joined by Jimmy Cataldo, who's going to move in from the girls' side to the boys' side tonight. Coach, welcome. And what a night. Great environment here at Waukee with like seeing Friday night basketball games get filled up. You were here early, around 4:30 for your son's sophomore boys game, and I look over and you're going against former Dowling coach Pat Henkinius, who's now over here at Waukee teaching and coaching, and he handed your Dowling Softs the first loss. That's going to be an interesting conversation when you get home with your son Dante. Can't wait to hear how that goes. But welcome, Jimmy, by the way. Welcome.
You know,
yes,
we're always trying to take something away and try to learn from the game, from the environment. But you buying that? I have been here since 4:30.
I know.
I went by the admissions office. I've been here so long. But
at Waukee.
But I will tell you this: if Coach Marr wanted a game that would grab the attention of her girls, she got it tonight. It was a great environment, and I just thought their team has played about as well as I've seen them play all year. But happy to sit in for the boys tonight. So get ready to go.
I'm glad you're available. Congratulations to Coach Kristen Myers, career win number 200 tonight.
I did not know it.
And that's win number 99 while she's been at Dowling. So next week, of course, you have Valley and number 1 Johnson on the docket next week, so it might be kind of hard. But congratulations to her. But hey, how about this boys game? What a game we saw Tuesday night. The Dowling boys coming from behind and holding off Urbandale. And as we talked to Coach Steelking at halftime earlier tonight, he said he doesn't know what to expect, but these kids are going to play. And Dowling hasn't won since 2007 here in this gym, believe it or not. It's been a 15-year drought since Dowling's put up a win. Now, they've beaten Waukee at Dowling, but never here. So we got that going against the Maroons tonight, Jimmy.
Well, I think the environment is a little bit of unsettling if you come in as a visitor. They do bring out their crowds. I was talking to a parent earlier, and she said that it's the biggest crowd that they've had all year. Pretty, surprising.
Wow.
But it is Dowling. It is a Friday night. And as we tell our football players, you're always going to get everybody's best. And I think that's what you see in other sports, including basketball.
Well, no question here. And, you look at the matchups tonight. For Dowling, the Maroons come in with a record of 3-4 under first-year head coach Clay Thielking. They're coming off a win over Urbandale Tuesday night. You build from that, and it wasn't, it wasn't a good look. But one thing it was, there's a lot of effort. I saw that here in the girls' game. There's effort out there, and you like seeing teams playing with effort. You got that out of Urbandale and Dowling on the boys' side Tuesday. Well, what's Waukee going to bring? Brand new coach, Coach Kanaski, a Dowling alum. His first year as a head coach here. He's been a 4-year assistant to Justin Olds, won the state title last year. And the schools got split, and he got 2 players. And the whole roster, he's got 2 players, and they both start for the Waukee Warriors. So what do you think when you look at those kind of matchups, knowing what we know?
Well, you sat down and looked at both teams today, and on paper, they're so alike. They both have new coaches. They're both very athletic, and their records are very similar. Dowling is 3-4 right now. 3-4 right now. Waukee's 3-5. And their losses have come to really good teams right now. And the games that they should have won, they were in it right at the very end. Dowling on you look at them, and they're at least 2 of their losses to Marshalltown and Southeast Polk. Both of those games they were in to the very end. And you just turn those 2 games around, and you're looking at a whole different record, a whole different outlook on your team. But certainly you look at the other night and the second half that they had, it's something you certainly build on. And you go back and look at the film, and it's a tale of two halves. It's a tale of 2 teams. And you build on what you found in your team. And there's 3 things you look at this team, right? It's certainly athletic. But Coach Thielking is probably looking for that one person to step up to be the leader. Who's going to be the leader of this team, especially in bad times in that first half and then carrying teams in the second half? The other thing is chemistry. You have a new coach, a new system. A lot of the same faces are around on the bench and things like that, but you got to find some chemistry out of this team. They have the athletes and the basketball players to do it, but once that chemistry comes around as the season rolls on, they're going to be a tough team to beat. And then finally is that, their perimeter shooting. Their perimeter shooting just has to get a little bit better. And I think they settle oftentimes for the three-point shot. But if it's there and it's uncontested, you take it and you hope you make more than you're missing right now. But those are the 3 things I look at this Dowling team that you build on. And I really hit on the leadership part.
And you're going to find a similar opponent in Waukee, because that's very much how Coach Kanaski described his team. We're looking for the same players. Who's going to step up? Kate Littlefield and Vance Pfeiffer, they're both captains. They played very little minutes last year with that Sanford team that Waukee won the state title over Johnston. They got very few bench minutes. And then you mix in with the rest of the roster who did not play varsity ball like Dowling's, didn't get a whole lot of minutes. So they're very similar. They're scrappy. Coach Steelking likes some of the sets that Kanaski runs. So obviously it comes down to scouting. But coming down to all that. It comes down to execution and who's going to execute, who's going to step up, who's going to be that third scorer. Maroons kind of found that out late in the game because, Drew Marr's going to get a lot of attention, and so is Cade Littlefield and Vance Pfeiffer for Waukee. And Pfeiffer's a matchup problem. He's a mainstay in the post. He's not as athletic as Reardon was for Valley, and he had 37 against Dowling, but he's somebody in the post that gives Dowling a matchup problem.
I think you're exactly right. I've watched Vance Pfeiffer play for quite some time. One of my nephews played with him throughout the AAU circuit, and I've watched this young man grow for the last several years, and he has just continued to get better and better. Very impressive big man, and you're certainly right. Dowling is going to have some issues in the low post if they're not going to be able to keep him off the block. You think, keeping him off the low block is a good thing, but the kid can shoot from the outside, and I've watched him do that time and time again over the last several years.
All right, we're going to take a break here in our pregame show. We'll come back with starting lineups. It's Dowling and Waukee, the boys contest. Earlier tonight in Game 1, the Dowling girls remain undefeated. They're now 11-0 with a 37-30 win over Waukee. Alongside Jim Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. Jennifer Phelps, our studio producer. We'll be back with the starting lineups of Game 2. It's Dowling and Waukee here at the Waukee Gym on Iowa Catholic Radio.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever heard someone say, I accept some of the things the church teaches, but I could never embrace the entire creed because there are some things in it that I just don't have any use for? G.K. Chesterton says, you might as well say that there's a great many things in the Encyclopedia Britannica that you don't have any use for. The church, like the Encyclopedia, is meant for everybody, and not just for you. It is meant for everybody, which just happens to include you. The Catholic Church is a combination of things that are nevertheless one thing. We cannot accept only part of it without rejecting all of it. Want more than a minute? Visit our website at www.chesterton.org.
And we're back here at the Waukee Fieldhouse, I guess it's known as, not the gymnasium, Fieldhouse. Mark Amadale, Jim Cataldo ready for the boys contest. We'll introduce the starting lineups for both teams. Girls game was won by Dowling, 37-30. Dowling and head coach Kristen Marr go to 11-0 in the year, ranked 4th in Class 5A. Congratulations to Coach Kristen Marr. 200th career win with her 6 years at Nevada and a state title and a runner-up at Nevada and her 6th year here at Dowling. Let's take a look at the Dowling boys starters tonight as Clay Thielking in his first year at Dowling as a head coach. Nick Wagner, Jimmy Nahas, the assistant, along with some guy named Kevin O'Hare, also on the Dowling bench. Maroons will start at one guard. Carson Brown, a 6'2 senior, averaging 8.5 points, 5.5 rebounds. Carson will wear number 3. The other guard is Quincy Ferguson, a 5'9 senior, averaging 2.5 points. He'll wear number 5. And the third guard for Dowling is our leading scorer, Drew Marr, a 6' junior, averaging nearly 18 points, two rebounds, and 2 blocks. He has 12 steals, and he shoots 86% from the field and has knocked down 18 made threes, leads the team, does Marr, and he'll wear number 25. At one forward for the Maroons, Charlie Stewart, a 6'3 senior, averaging 12.5 points, 6 rebounds, and leads the team with 12 steals. And at center, Mata Brua, 6'4 senior, averaging 5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and Mata will wear number 35. So it'll be Carson Brown, Quincy Ferguson, Drew Marr, along with Charlie Stewart and Mata Brua. Dowling comes in averaging 61.5 points on offense. They give up 55 points on defense, and they have a record of 3-4. And now for the Waukee Warriors. The head coach is Kevin Kanaski in his first year. 3 wins, 5 losses so far. This is his 5th year overall. He was the head coach at Ottumwa for 4 years, and then he was the assistant coach to Justin Knowles for 4 years before being named the head coach this past spring. And the Warriors will start this lineup of 3 guards, a 4-guard lineup, and a post. They'll start at 1 guard, Mason Costello, a 6'1 sophomore, averaging 8.5 points, 10 rebounds, or 10 made threes and 3.5 rebounds. Leads the team with 8 steals. He'll wear number 1. The other guard is Cooper Randall, 6'1 junior. He is a captain, averaging 6 points. And the third guard is Cade Littlefield, He's a young man who had some experience last year off the bench for the Warriors. Littlefield averaging 13 points and 2.5 rebounds and leads the team with 16 made threes. He'll wear number 33. And at one forward for the Warriors is Keyshawn Moore, 6-foot sophomore, averaging 8 points and 3.5 rebounds. And the center is Vance Pfeiffer, 6'7" junior. We just talked about him. Leads the team in rebounds with 6.5. Averages 10 points a game, second leading scorer, and he'll wear number 25. So it'll be Littlefield, Randall, Costello, along with Keyshawn Moore and Vance Pfeiffer for the Warriors. They come in averaging 58 points on offense, give up 61 points on defense. And there you go, Coach Cataldo. They turned the lights down when they introduced in basketball. I know they don't do that in football too often, but they put on a show, don't they?
The way things are commercialized so much, and kids attract to this, and how can you not get excited to play on Friday night with the crowd filling in? Student sections are pretty full. And one thing to look at with Waukee tonight is their balanced scoring attack. You know, they're getting their scoring from 4 different players: Costello, Randall, Littlefield, and Pfeiffer have led a very balanced offensive attack out of Waukee. So watching Dowling defend, it will be critical in defending the perimeter shot, because they do shoot their fair share of 3-point shots.
Other games going on tonight. These are all girl-boy doubleheaders. Valley at number 1 Johnston tonight. Southeast Polk at Urbandale. Ames at Centennial. That game's on CISN. Our good friend Andy Pollock on the call there. Waukee Northwest at Fort Dodge, and Ankeny at Mason City. The tip is up controlled by Dowling and Matabrua. Hoovers at Roosevelt, Lincoln's at East. North, Marshalltown, and Ottumwa all have the night off. And we're underway here at the Dowling Gym. The Maroons, a shot in the lane, up and good. Matabrua gets loose in the lane and scores for the Maroons. How about that?
But yeah, Mata, that's great to see Mata shooting right away. Mata's shown some confidence issues when talking to him in the past couple weeks, but taking that ball in the middle, nice turnaround jump shot, and hits a 3-footer.
So 2-0 Dowling. The Maroons go left to right towards the south basket here in the lane. A pull-up jumper no good by Costello, and the rebound out to Dowling. And here's Stewart on the baseline. He's cut off, and now the pass is intercepted by Waukee after Charlie may have got caught in between dribbles. Underneath, a shot up and no good by Vance Pfeiffer. And that'll be the matchup problem from Dowling. There's a foul on Dowling and Pfeiffer to the line.
It's going to come down to positioning. All right, that time Mata did not get very good positioning. Pfeiffer puts up a nice little fake shot. Mata loses his feet, and he converts the foul.
First foul on Dowling. It's on Matabrua, as you mentioned. Pfeiffer at the line. First free throw rolls off the rim. No good. Tonight's game, or rather tonight's officials, are the same from the girls' game. That is Tyler Brady, Jason Seahuser, and Marion Petty. Second free throw no good. So 0 for 2 off the bat for Pfeiffer.
64% as a team, Waukee is. And
Pfeiffer, a 60% shooter, missed them both. Down the other way. And now here's Charlie Stewart down the left side. Throws up a shot, no good, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Actually, Drew Marr was taking the ball through the lane with his left side strong. Went hard with the layup and gets fouled. Drew Marr.
Well, they called it on number 24. Okay. That's Keyshawn Moore. That's the point guard. And it was Drew, as you mentioned. Down the lane he goes. And, you know, Urbandale did a good job of recognizing where Drew was all night.
If Drew finds himself attacking the basket all night, you know, he creates so many shots for other people just by the way he's aggressive to the basket. Watching him attack the basket early in the game is a good thing.
Yeah, Drew hits both free throws. 4-0 Dowling. Maroons out to their first lead, and now Littlefield shoots and scores for Waukee. That's their leading scorer. Brua in the lane. His shot no good. Had a nice look at the basket, but couldn't get it to fall. And the rebound out to the Warriors. 4-2 Dowling. Here in this boys contest underway. Late start just after 8 o'clock, and now bodies on the floor and a jump ball called as Vance Pfeiffer was tied up with Matabrua.
Just becomes a safety issue. The ball really was still moving around at the time. But safety call to call the jump ball.
That's your opinion?
That's my opinion.
That's not what happened, but that's okay. Here's Waukee with the ball. Costello with it. Where's number 1? Out top it goes to Randall, one of the captains. And now underneath to Costello, and his shot up and good. A foul on Dowling, and Brua will pick up the foul. That'll be Mata's second. And we're going to see Pettis off the bench quickly for Dowling. The basket counts, and we're tied at 4 as Costello with the first field goal.
Again, Mata just gets a little bit in foul trouble early, trying to get to help defense. Certainly not what you want to see out of Mata early in the game, but he's got to keep his attitude up. I think that's the most important thing with this team is just start rooting on other people's coming in for you. And again, that's where the chemistry comes in.
Second free throw, or the free throw rather, by Costello, no good. So Waukee 0 for 3 at the line here in the first 2 minutes of the contest. Tied at 4, Dowling and Waukee here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Here's a corner three, up and good by Quincy Ferguson. Just his third 3 of the year, and he's starting to show some confidence.
Haven't seen much out of that out of Quincy, but again, you're looking for guys to step up and shoot the shot when it's there, and that's what Quincy did.
Did I tell you they were auditioning for a third shooter? Quincy's in the hunt right now. Here's a long shot, no good. Tipped out of bounds by Waukee after the miss by, I believe, it was Cooper Randall. It'll be Dowling basketball. So
sounds like you've been hanging out at a lot of their practices because you've got some inside info that I don't think I have.
You have a son of the sophomore team. You should have more than I do. But sources, my friend, sources. All right, a long three by Drew Marr's no good. Out of bounds to Waukee. And Drew shot that ball beyond the three-point arc from the left wing. Couldn't get it to fall, and the ball was tipped out of bounds by the Maroons. 5:20 remaining. First quarter, 7-4 Dowling over Waukee. Mark Amadillo, Jimmy Cataldo. Dowling girls a winner tonight, 37-30 over Waukee. To run their record to 11-0. Long three up off the back iron, no good by the Warriors. Cade Littlefield. Long rebound out to the Warriors. And Costello with a three, no good. Carson Brown rips down the rebound.
Such an athletic rebound by Carson. He gets so high in the air.
Now a steal by Keyshawn Moore, and his shot up and blocked out of bounds by Carson Brown. Boy.
That ball was halfway up the backboard, and Carson hits that ball out of midair. Just shows the athleticism we've seen out of this young man for a couple years now.
Now, the other area across from us, the bleachers, is where Dowling fans are sitting, and they are ecstatic. Where we're sitting amongst the Waukee fans, silence on that play by Carson Brown. Now a shot up no good by Pfeiffer. Rebound Dowling and Carson Brown. Here's Morrow. Drew in the lane. His shot up no good. Drew the foul. He'll go to the line. You'll have 3 players to select for the foul. As Jason Seahusen just selects number 25. And that's Vance Pfeiffer with his first foul for Waukee. Again, the Maroons have not won here in this gym since 2007. What were you coaching?
It's been that long?
Yeah.
Holy goodness.
Coach Cataldo and I were talking about that. We were looking everything up, and it's like, yep. Quite a while. 15 years since the Maroons have won here. And the free throw is good, so Morrow with his 4th point. All at the free throw line. And the Maroons lead it by 5, 9-4, their largest lead of the night. Here's Waukee on a back cut, can't get the shot off. Cooper Randall now leaves it for Jaden Rogers, who's in there for Waukee. Rogers is a 6'4 sophomore, and he launched the three. It's no good. Carson Brown, top of the key for 3. It's no good, and the rebound comes out to Pfeiffer and Waukee as we approach the 4-minute mark. Dowling by 5. Here's Carson Brown, nearly picked it up, and we got a reach-in foul on Dowling and Pettis.
Ooh.
Half court. You don't want to foul out there, do you?
Well, you have exactly what you want. You have Vance Pfeiffer bringing the ball up, and he gets caught up in the dribble. Carson Brown tries to get the ball loose, which he did, but Jalen Pettis comes in a little bit too early and with the body gets the foul.
So Dowling has 3 fouls, all on their posts. Brua on the bench with 2, and now Pettis picked up his first. Waukee with the ball. Under 4 minutes to play, first quarter. Dowling by 5. Underneath, this is Littlefield. His shot no good. Rebound Quincy Ferguson. Maroons running, looking for a shot in transition. Can't get it. They reverse the ball left wing, and they're going to say Drew Marr stepped out of bounds on the sideline over there. Out of bounds to Waukee here, Jimmy.
You know, Drew just wants to try so hard to get to the basket, and he has such a quick first step that on that time he steps back and steps out of bounds and makes a turnover.
Waukee with the basketball. They'll go inside. Pfeiffer in the right block. Guarded by Pettis. His pull-up jumper. No good. Rebound. Charlie, Stewart, and Dowling. One and done.
Defensively right now, the Maroons are playing about as good as you can play, except for the fouls at the post. You're getting Pfeiffer to shoot three-point shots. That certainly helps.
Oh, no-look pass by Drew Morrow underneath the Pettis, and it's knocked out of bounds. Pettis, when he caught it, did a head fake. Waukee didn't buy it, and it was slapped out of bounds. It'll be Dowling basketball. Great pass
Tremendous
that time by Morrow as Charlie Stewart checks out for the Maroons. And we see Capola. And lob pass underneath to Carson Brown, and he can't get the shot to go. Rebound out to Waukee and Vance Pfeiffer. All right, Deion Jenkins in there for Waukee. He gets on the baseline. Nearly lost his place, and he finds Costello underneath. His shot up and good. I'll tell you what, he bailed himself out that time because he got caught in the baseline.
Certainly got caught. Found Costello breaking to the hoop, which was a great cut by Costello, and has to pump fake the shot, being contested by Jack Odie, who's in the game now.
9-6, Dowling with the lead over Waukee. 2:30 remaining. You mentioned Pettis and now Odie in the lineup, and now a shot off the glass, good. That's Pettis on a cutting.
Tremendous job by Jalen Pettis. You know, he had the open free throw shot. Thought twice to take that hard to the basket with the layup. Much better decision making out of Jalen.
All right, here's Deion Jenkins in the lineup for Waukee. It's a pass over in the corner to Warriors now with a couple subs. Owen Shipper in there, 6'4" sophomore, along with Deion Jenkins. There's a shot in the lane, no good. Rebound Dowling. And the Maroons now will bring it up court with Drew Morrow getting the board to Capola. Joey Capola in there for the Maroons, 5'10" sophomore, and he has the basketball. It's Capola, Morrow, and Carson Brown, the three guards, along with Pettis. And Jack Odie. Yep. Now here's a three-pointer by Carson Brown. Top of the key, it's no good. Rebound Waukee and Costello. And now a steal by Odie after Costello tried to hit the home run pass from half court. Couldn't do it. Morrow with it. Leaves it for Carson Brown. Minute and a half to play in the first quarter. Dowling 11, Waukee 6 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Nice crowd here at the Waukee Fieldhouse. Maroons will play Waukee at home later this year. Here's Brown for three off the back iron, no good. And a rebound out to Vance Pfeiffer and Waukee.
I think Coach Steel Kings would get a little bit frustrated right now with the Maroons settling for just some unwarranted three-point shots. They're doing so well when they take the ball to the basket, and you haven't seen that in the last three times down the floor.
Waukee now in the corner. Three-pointer by Jenkins, no good. Rebound Drew Morrow and Dowling. 50 seconds remaining. Dowling by 5. Let's see if they can get a little bit more patient here with their offensive set. And you're right, they are settling for threes. Even though they're wide open, they just can't get them to fall.
But their threes are going well beyond the three-point arc, which, you know, that's just a shot that you just don't need to take, you know, at this part of the game when you're doing so well getting to the basket.
All right, here's Marr at the free throw line. Kicks it back out to Capola. Back to Marr with 25 seconds. Drew in the lane, puts up a shot up, off the back iron, no good, and the rebound Pfeiffer and Waukee. Waukee now in the front court, going right to left towards the north basket here at the Waukee gym. Waukee in their home white uniforms, purple numbers and letters. Dowling in their gray road uniforms with maroon numbers. And now a near steal by Carson Brown. Ball loose on the floor, bodies flying everywhere, and Carson loses the basketball. They're going to whistle a foul on the floor on Waukee with 0.3 of a second remaining in the quarter.
Carson Brown's defense this quarter has been so noticeable, so upbeat, so quick. He's playing the passing lanes. It's his third turnover that he's caused.
Jaden Roberts picks up the foul, and the Maroons inbound underneath their own basket. Can't get the lob to work, and we've come to the end of the first quarter with the score. Dowling Catholic 11, Waukee 6, along with Jim Cataldo. I'm Mark Amadale. Back to the Waukee gym in 1 minute here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Throughout history, our Lord has shown us that He is truly present in the Blessed Sacrament. Experience these wonders for yourself as Iowa Catholic Radio presents the Vatican International Exhibition Eucharistic Miracles of the World at the Christ the King Parish Gallery in Des Moines, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., now through January 12th. Learn more about how you can bring this beautiful panel display to your parish, school, or faith-based organization by calling 515-223-1150. This is Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ.
Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel, 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
Hey, we're back here at the Dowling Gym, or at the Waukee Gym, and a three-pointer to start or they're going to mark it a two-pointer for Dowling to start the second quarter here, Jim. 13-6 Dowling.
We sit there and we talk about shot selection, and Jalen Pettis takes a shot that they'd probably have to go to the monitor to see if it was a three-pointer or not, because it was darn close to being a three.
It was just inside the line. Pettis with his fourth point, and Dowling out to a 14-6 lead over the Warriors, and now the Warriors turn the ball over on their first offensive possession. And let's see, Waukee staying man-to-man. Dowling with the basketball. I believe they have all five of their starters out there. Now reverse layup, no good by Charlie Stewart. Rebound out to Waukee. The Warriors now in the front court. Mason Costello down the lane. His shot with the left hand, good. Mason Costello, 6'1 sophomore. Nice job with his 6 point. And it's 14-8. Dowling by 6. Corner three by Carson Brown, up and good. Carson with his first three of the night. I think he missed his first two, but nailed that one here in the second quarter.
We talk about shot selection. It's so important, especially in an environment like this, and they're rewriting the record book on us. But that's okay.
All right, Carson Brown's going to be whistled for a foul as he tried to fight through his screen, and like a little pinball action there, and he calls a couple of the Waukee players to move. Playing aggressive, 17-8 Maroons. Dowling with its largest lead right now of 9 over Waukee. And the Warriors have it. This is Keyshawn Moore, their point guard, 6-foot sophomore. Directing traffic, gets the ball on the right side. And now fighting off a double team, and that is Cade Littlefield. In the corner it goes to Pfeiffer for three. It's good. And that is his spot, Vance Pfeiffer. Corner three from the left wing.
Both teams are starting to settle in a little bit. Waukee was struggling from the three-point, going 0 for 6 in the first quarter, but have made their first shot coming out of the second.
It's Jack Odie, along with Quincy Ferguson, Carson Brown, Jalen Pettis, and Charlie Stewart, the five on the floor. Now the ball inside, and it went off of Pettis' foot, out of bounds to Waukee. Kind of an unforced turnover. Drew Morrow now will check in for Dowling. And let's see who he'll replace. Carson Brown. Foul trouble. Well, Mata Bruo is on the bench with 2 fouls for the Maroons. And Waukee with 4 players with 1 foul each. Warriors in the front court. Leave it for Costello. Costello has the ball poked away, and now it's on the floor. It's picked up by Quincy Ferguson. Dowling with the steal. The other way we go. Quincy in the lane. Pull-up jumper, no good. And the rebound out to Waukee and Pfeiffer.
Quincy got caught. Really didn't have much to do with that dribble drive. You don't want to settle for the 8-foot shot. That's such a tough shot in the lane to take.
Now we got traveling on Waukee as they go to the offensive end and turn it over. Got a quick stat update there, sir.
First quarter, the Maroons go 40% from the field, 2 of 5, 20% from three-point range, 1 for 5. Waukee 3 for 8 in the first quarter, 37%, and 0 for 6. Maroons are playing great perimeter defense, and we thought that would be a key in the pregame.
And rebounds and turnovers if you got them. A corner three by Charlie Stewart is no good, and a whistle and a loose ball foul on Dowling.
So turnovers for Dowling, handling the ball pretty well. Right now with 4 turnovers, Waukee sitting at 4 as well. Total rebounds, I have Waukee with 6 and Dowling with 4.
All right, Jack Odie whistled for the foul. Team foul number 5 on Dowling. Now a whistle and a foul again on the Maroons. Ferguson will pick up the foul, and the Maroons are now in jeopardy of putting Waukee. They will now put Waukee at the free throw line the rest of the half. 5 minutes to play, and Dowling with 16 fouls already. Maroons by 6, 17-11 over the Waukee Warriors. Here, a pretty good crowd at the Waukee Fieldhouse. Waukee, a little two-man game underneath. Too deep was Pfeiffer, couldn't get the shot off, and he redirects the ball, and Warriors will start over. Now Pfeiffer, 3 on their wing. It's up and no good. Rebound, Drew Marr and Dowling. Drew will dribble up the floor. 4 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. Dowling by 6. Reminder at halftime, we'll catch up with Dowling girls coach Kristen Meyer. Now, Drew Marr goes around someone. He was expecting somebody to be there. No one was. Uncontested layup for Drew. And now Waukee in the lane. A shot no good. And a rebound out to the Warriors. They keep possession. Now Pettis with a block shot of a Costello rebound. And now we got basically a line change coming in. 3 Waukee players coming in and 1 Dowling player.
It's a much different Dowling team. You can tell from what the momentum they took off with the second half against Urbandale, playing with so much more energy here in this first half than we saw in the first half against Urbandale.
And they're contesting everything, even though they're small size in the post for the Maroons. They're contesting everything. And traveling called on the Warriors as Cade Littlefield, 1 extra dribble. It'll be Dowling basketball after the turnover.
Good double team by Quincy and Drew Marr on that, forcing Littlefield to get caught in his dribble and forcing a turnover.
The 4 Dowling starters remain in: Ferguson, Stewart, Carson Brown, and Drew Marr. But Pettis in the post. He replaced Mata Brua, who's out with 2 fouls right now with under 4 minutes to play in the half. Now corner 3 by Carson Brown. It's off the mark, no good. And a strong rebound that time by Waukee and Keyshawn Moore. Down court layup, no good by the Warriors, and that was Rogers who missed a shot. And he had an uncontested layup there if he had a chance but couldn't finish, and Dowling had a lot to say about that. Well guarded.
It's good pace, and Dowling will probably need to go a little bit deeper in their bench.
Long 3 by Stewart, missed everything, or rather by Marl, missed everything, no good, and now they say it hit.
Calling a foul on Jalen Pettis.
Oh, that's who the foul's on. That's what Coach Steelking is questioning. So Pettis with 2. And Dowling's post players with a total of 4 fouls right now, Jimmy.
So it'll be interesting to see who they go to. It's tough to get a 3rd foul in the first half by your post players.
Free throw up and good. The front end of a 1-and-1 for Waukee.
And that's what you're going to get with Jalen Pettis and Malabrua. They're just such high energy, physical young men that they're certainly going to get their fouls.
Cameron Boyle into the lineup, and he hits both free throws. He's just 2 of 4 from the year. Comes in averaging 1 point, and he's got 2 points right now, so good contribution there. Boyle, a 6'1 junior. The athletic director's son, Eric.
I've seen Cameron Boyle play
baseball.
Basketball in the last few years. He played with Dante.
Baseball and basketball. And
nice
good kid. And now Boyle in the corner for 3. It's no good. Rebound Carson Brown and Dowling. 19-13. Dowling by 6. Under 3 minutes to play. And the Maroons get the ball down court. Shot up and good by Charlie Stewart. The basket will count and the foul on Boyle.
That is Drew Morrow again.
Or it was Drew Morrow, excuse me. And Boyle picks up the foul.
No, it was Charlie Stewart. My fault. I'm stealing your thunder. I start seeing Drew Morrow get excited about the play,
and I'll defend you because we're way up here in the rafters. You mean I got the euchre seats tonight?
You didn't tell me to bring my glasses tonight.
Well, I should have had binoculars. And Stewart misses the free throw, and ball loose on the floor as Pettis on the floor, and they're gonna do a jump ball. No, timeout Dowling. So it's 21-13, Dowling by 8. And the Maroons call the timeout, I believe.
I believe they're going to call they're
going to call jump ball. That's what Brady's coming over. Tyler
Coach
Brady.
Didn't get the timeout in time.
And Coach Kanaski doesn't like that at all. Kevin, Dowling coach, or Dowling player and alum, coached at Ottumwa. And, of course, his dad, Kurt Kanaski, was a longtime coach at Drake, and he knows how to work the game a little bit. We're going to get what they got here?
Just a little bit of confusion on whose possession arrow it is. The ball should be going to Waukee, and that's what the officials are getting.
Yeah, they didn't have it right at the bench. They got it all fixed, and now we're underway. 21-13, Dowling by 8, 40 remaining. Here in the first half, Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, Waukee on the left block. And a shot up and good. Nice little hook that time by Vance Pfeiffer.
Very tough shot. The jump hook into the lane.
And well defended by Pettis. Jalen did a nice job. Not much he could do with the size disadvantage.
But you're also, Jalen's probably protecting his fouls a little bit, so he's going to be a little bit lenient on his defense. Nice look by Drew Morrow.
Underneath to Stewart, his shot up and good. And once again, Charlie draws the foul. The basket will count, and a foul on Key.
Tremendous cross baseline pass by Drew Morrow, finding Charlie Stewart on the baseline. And Charlie's just so athletic, he can jump out of the building, and that's what he does when he gets to the rim.
Owen Shipper picks up the foul just in the lineup, and this free throw is good by Charlie Stewart. So he is now 1 for 2 at the line tonight. He's got 5 points. And it's 24-15, Dowling by 9. They equal their largest lead here in the first half. 2 minutes to play. Waukee with the basketball right to left in front of us as we are high above. We're 5 rows from the wall up here. You should have brought your binoculars, Mr. Cataldo. And we're behind the benches, but well behind. There's a long three, no good by Waukee. Rebound Carson Brown, Dowling with the ball. Here's Morrow with it. Drew with it, and a traveling call on Drew. As he wanted to get that three off.
Just the right intention by Drew. He was a little bit too deep on his three-point look. Gives a nice little fake. His defender jumps, goes hard, and just picks up his foot before he puts the ball down.
Yeah, Coach Steelking talking to Drew, say, hey, you did the right thing. Just slow it down a pace. We've got a 9-point lead to execute. Waukee nearly threw it away. Here's Warriors with it in the lane. Here's Deion Jenkins, a shot no good. Rebound, Pettis. Jalen with it, drills across half court.
Nice job.
This is Charlie Stewart, avoided the over and back, and the ball goes out of bounds off of Stewart's foot. We'll get aggressive play here, Jimmy, but the execution part not happening.
Well, it's certainly not what you want to see. Jalen gets the turnover, steal, and starts heading down the court, and the guards are begging for the ball, and things just go south from there.
Well, he threw it to him, and he almost had an over and back, but Pettis got away with one there. And now Waukee with the ball, and we've got, a whistle and a foul on Dowling.
It's going to be number 3 on Jalen Pettis.
So Pettis picks up foul number 3. And that's not what you want to see. Brua has 2 fouls. They're going to sit Pettis down, and the Maroons are going to a very short lineup because Jack Odie has just re-entered. Jack played earlier tonight, and he will be inserted to the lineup. 24-16 is our score, so free throw good.
It'll be interesting to see who they're going to put on Pfeiffer on the defensive end. I would imagine Carson Brown. Carson Brown has the length to match him, but it could be Jack Odie.
We'll see, as Odie, a 6'3 junior, so matchup problems for the Maroons, and Dowling on the offensive end. 24-17, minute to play. Here's Odie with it. Head fake, gets it to Drew Morrow on the left baseline. Now bricks up his dribbles, cut off in a bad spot. He may have to turn a timeout. He doesn't. Gets to Carson Brown. Back to Morrow. Little two-man game. Three-pointer up, good! Drew Morrow, a three-pointer from the left wing.
Coach Steelking's trying to call the timeout as Drew got caught in the corner, but finds an opening, gets the ball back and hits the three. Another block by Carson Brown.
And the Maroons now needing help in the post, as here is a bank shot by Costello that's good. Unbelievable. So
we're going to settle down for the last shot here with about 10 seconds left.
Costello with 8 points here, Jimmy. 27-19. Dowling with the lead. Here's Carson Brown at half court. Guarded by Randall. Down the lane he goes, and we're going to have an offensive foul on Carson. That was a good job by selling that one by Randall.
It's about a 50-50 call there. Carson Brown takes the ball hard to the basket. He does have a step on Costello there.
That's
Carson. Costello takes that step just to get in front of him, also slightly to draw contact.
That's his second foul. 1.6 seconds remain. We'll keep it here. Mark Amadale, Jim Cataldo, 27-19. Dowling with the lead as we're nearing halftime here, Coach. And Waukee's got one dribble and a shot left, basically.
The last thing you want to do is foul. I mean, they got to go the entire length of the court here. Play a little pressure defense to force the pass in the backcourt. and hope they put a desperation if it goes in. The things that you can't help. But tremendous up tempo half by the Maroons. It's something that we haven't seen a whole lot. They've seen so robotic coming out of the games early in the season, and in this game that seems a little bit more free flowing out of this group. And maybe some emphasis in practice over the last couple of days. Maybe it's a little take of what they found in themselves in the second half against Urbandale. But either way, it's been a very good first half for Dowling.
Dowling's knocked down 3 threes here in this first half. Carson Brown, Quincy Ferguson, and Drew Marr have knocked down a 3. Now Waukee will inbound the ball, length of the court to go. Cooper Randall will throw it in. And now we've got, a loose ball foul on Waukee. They're going to whistle it on Dion Jenkins.
They're just trying to set a pick to throw the length of the court pass. Got caught in a moving screen.
And that was the 16th foul on Waukee. Or is it Dowling will inbounds underneath their own basket. So the Maroons are going to get their offensive players in.
The ball is going to get set where the foul occurred, which occurred in the backcourt for the Maroons. So the ball will go into the backcourt with 1.6 seconds.
Okay. Clay Fieldking agreed with that.
And he knows a lot more basketball than I do.
Yeah, and I wonder where the ball was when the foul occurred. If it was still in the hands of the throw-in, and it wasn't. Now Dowling will have to go the length of the court. 1.6 seconds. Now here's Capola for a half-court shot. It's no good, and we've come to the end of the first half with the score. Dowling Catholic 27, Waukee 19. And alongside Jimmy Cataldo and Mark Amadale, what a first half it was, as the Maroons led 11-6 at the end of the first quarter and outscored Waukee 16-13 here in the second quarter to go in at halftime with the lead, 27-19. In game one, Dowling girls ran their record to 11-0 and ranked 4th in Class 5A with a 37-30 win. And we're going to visit with the head coach who won career win number 200 tonight, and that is Kristen Meyer, sitting right behind us. You got a couple of good questions for her?
I'm going to try. I don't get to interview Coach Meyer very often. But
I'll warn her. I'll warn her. All right. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll have the first half statistics also. Again, Dowling 27, Waukee 19, halftime of the boys game. Back to the Waukee gym in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
Our blessed Lord considered the 3 possible forms of church government. The democratic would be one in which a majority vote decides, in which everyone has an entirely different opinion of what is to be. The aristocratic is an appeal not so much to the majority or to the masses, but rather an appeal to an aristocracy, a House of Parliament, a Senate, a Congress, a House of Lords. And the theocratic is one in which God chooses one man as he chose Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Moses, and guides and protects and directs this man. Peter holds the primacy not only of honor, but also of jurisdiction over the church. He is the vicar of Christ. He is the first pontiff. He is the first pope.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
And welcome back to the Waukee gym alongside Jim Cataldo, Mark Amadale, as halftime of the boys contest. Dowling 27, Waukee 19, joined now by head coach Kristen Meyer. Coach, welcome, congratulations. Win number 200 for you. I know you, as Scott Babinette, who did a nice job doing color. Much better than the other color guy we had for the girls game. He's got his headset on. I didn't realize that. But Scott did a great job, and we both congratulate you. I know he said she'll just kind of downplay it, talk about the kids and all that. But congratulations, Coach. A lot of years coaching, and you got win 200 tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It makes you kind of look back over the past 2 years. You don't realize you've been doing it so long. Comes up quick.
It does. Well, what a game it was. I was kidding with him. I said, hey, Dowling and Waukee, girls give up 37 points each. They both play pretty good defense. You won 37-30 tonight. You played excellent defense, but couldn't get shots to fall and all that. And both teams played great defensive efforts tonight. You got to hand it to them.
Yeah, it was definitely kind of a boring game to watch, I'll be honest. I thought even from sitting courtside with just so many missed shots. But as you said, both teams play pretty good defense, and I'm glad that we can at least depend on our defense when our shots aren't falling, and that's kind of what we did tonight, which was great to see, especially missing Julia Moore, who's down playing soccer and one of our better defenders, and I think she just kind of settles us down on the court. So we're just seemed like a little bit out of sorts at times. But the other girls stepped up, played well. Marin came in and played well. Macy Downing came in, gave us some good minutes.
Sure.
I thought Ellie Olsen played really well for us, rebounded well. So, yeah, we'll take this win and mosey on out of here.
Absolutely. It's not easy to win in this field house. I know you walk in here, where's Chris Guess? That's the first thing I asked myself. But Chris,
remember the buzzer beater 3,
oh,
Ella McVeigh?
Yes, I do. And there's a few others. A Caitlin Clark shot. There's the Faber game. There's a lot of games that were in here. And Chris just says, oh, my goodness. Yeah, so he's on a long bus ride to Fort Dodge tonight. Northwest is up at Fort Dodge, so he can't hear any of this. Well, you start 3 freshman guards tonight, Heller, Zediker, and Tritton. And you brought Miss Tritton up here with us. What do we know about her?
It was her turn, and she was going to come Tuesday. Then I know there's those problems, and she scored 15 on Tuesday. I thought tonight she was pretty solid. I think Layla's just a solid defender for us offensively. We trust her with the ball in her hands, and sometimes I mean it in a good way, but you don't always notice her on the court, as in she's not making mistakes. So that's kind of what we're looking for, and she, right away kind of worked herself into the starting lineup and does a lot of really good things for us.
Well, it certainly does. Let's put the microphone over to Miss Tritton. And Layla, congratulations tonight. Big win here on a tough place to win.
Yeah, thank you.
And welcome. Couldn't get you on the other night. Some technical difficulties we had, but we got that all sorted out. The folks at Waukee have provided what we needed.
Perfect.
But talk about the game tonight. It was a low-scoring game, defensive game. I know you don't want to play that way, but that's what happened tonight when they defended you.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job playing defense, we tried getting some transition looks, but our shots weren't falling, so we had to find different ways. Emma did a good job of rebounding for us, getting the boards, and we just started crashing the basket once in the second half once we knew our shots weren't falling as much.
So you were an 8th grader a year ago, right?
Yeah.
And now here you are as a freshman playing on the big court.
Yep.
Lots of crowd. What's different? What's changed for you?
Definitely, I'd say just like the confidence and like how much more pressure, but in a good way. Like as an 8th grader, it's like, oh, you go to a game and just your parents are there and you're like, oh, I made a shot, I missed. But here it's like, you can make the three-pointer to win the game, or like everything matters so much more and it gets you so much further.
And it does. And there's 3 of you out there. 3 freshmen started tonight, and of course you get others. So it's got to be a lot of fun. You know what? Coach wouldn't put you out there if she didn't think you could contribute. So that says a lot about you and how you were brought up. It really does. Coach Cataldo?
So Layla, I think we started seeing you come around and start impacting your team in the Sioux City East game, and we're seeing that more and more out of you. And we've been talking a lot about you during the last few games. Talk about your comfort level as a freshman coming into environments like this. It just seems like, early in the season, a lot of attention was played to Ava Zediker as a freshman, and as Coach Marr said, you're one of those quiet ones on the court, which in a way is a good thing. But talk about your comfort level right now and how you've kind of grown in the last 10 games and how you're feeling going forward.
I think definitely just team bonding, getting to know the girls more and understanding how, like, everybody does play a purpose. Like, my shots and my shot selection does matter, and Ava's does matter. And having 5 people on the court who we know everybody can score. If somebody's having a bad game, like, we can trust somebody else to step up. I'd say I'm getting more comfortable just, like, playing together as a team and seeing how, like, we can get a defensive stop and we can get the transition layup, and how our defense, our awesome defense, can get us great offensive points.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job. You seem so comfortable when the ball comes to you and you have a contested shot or an open shot. You're not hesitating to shoot the ball, so you can just see the growth in your overall basketball game. And to think, you're just a freshman, and see you in the next few years is going to be exciting for all of us.
Yes, thank you.
All right, well, what are you going to do for Coach? Win number 200 tonight, say right here. Win number 200 for Coach. Did you know that beforehand? Or?
Yeah, we did. Emma told us she was bringing those beautiful headbands, blowers for you.
Headbands.
Headbands, yep.
Awesome. Yeah, Coach Dan and I were all over this. We were back and forth. There's some other stuff coming down the pike, but that'll be next week. Hopefully we'll get that all worked out. But Layla, good job. Thanks for coming up here. I'm glad. I'm sorry it didn't work out Tuesday night, but you got Valley and #1 Johnston next week. Any worries?
I think as long as we play like we know we can, come out confident, play our defense, like we can win them both. We have a good chance at keeping up with them and taking over.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Give the microphone back to Coach 200 here, Coach Meyer. Quite the young lady. Does she give your halftime talks when Danner can't?
Well, tonight I was maybe a little bit fired up, so I didn't let her talk too much. But some nights we might. She does a nice job. She doesn't get any too rattled. So as you can see here, even speaking with you guys, she just stays pretty level-headed all the time, which is great to see.
We've talked a lot about your success as a team, in this early part of the year, and certainly if there was a game that you really wanted to catch the attention of your team, tonight was it. You had the crowd, the music, you're in the timeout, and you're just not used to that environment. And to bring a young team into this, of course you have your veterans and Lauren Frericks and Emma Gipple and the rest, but to bring your young group in here and look how they responded to this environment has to be pretty exciting for you.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something that we didn't know coming into the season, kind of how the new players would respond. And I think the biggest thing tonight, missing Julia Moore, whenever you're missing a piece of the puzzle, it just feels a little bit different. But they never looked rattled. We had, we missed some shots and made a few mistakes, but it was never like a nerve-wracking thing, which is really impressive for such a young or inexperienced group.
Well, Coach, I know next week doesn't get any easier. It's Valley Tuesday night at their place, and then a week from tonight, Dowling, Johnston, MediaCom, and all the bells and whistles.
Oh, they're coming?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Everyone's welcome.
Okay, I thought so. Well, remember, we get first dibs, even though Cataldo's asking questions tonight to you. I know that's the norm, but Babinet's going to be with us next week. That'll push him here. So if you can endure Cataldo here at halftime, you can endure anything. Coach, congratulations, and celebrate. Win number 200, that's a milestone in this business. You know that.
Well, after going back to school this week, it'll probably be sleeping in tomorrow will be my celebration, and then start watching some Valley film.
There you go. All right, Coach, thank you. Layla, thank you.
Thanks for broadcasting.
You bet, Coach. We'll take a break and come back with the start of the second half here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Dowling 27-19 over Waukee. Back in 1 minute.
Thought of the Day with Monsignor Frank Bagnano.
One of the most consoling passages found in the New Testament in the Bible are the words of St. Paul to the Corinthians, letter number 2. It goes like this: For those who love God, all things work together unto good. All things, not some things. Sometimes we can see that, but often we cannot. Even our past sins, once we've turned away from our past sins, they can be used by God for the benefit of other people. Because of this, even St. Paul himself experienced his own weaknesses and his sins, and he experienced God's mercy so he can sympathize with other people when they are weak. Yes, our past failures and sins and weaknesses are all redeemable, and God can use them miraculously to help other people. For those who love God, all things work together unto good. And that is today's Thought of the Day.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel, 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
And we're back here at the Waukee Gym, underway here in the third quarter as it's Dowling 32, Waukee 21 as we're underway here in the third quarter. Back comes Pfeiffer for another three-pointer for Pfeiffer. Now he's got 5 of his 12 points right now, and it's 32-23, Dowling by 9. And these teams have come out shooting here in the second half here, Jimmy.
Came out shooting. Drew Morrow hitting a 3 to start the half. Mata Brewer makes a free throw line, 2 field goal shot.
And now Waukee in transition, and that's Pfeiffer getting loose. He has gotten 7 of his 14 points here in the last minute, and a full timeout called. We'll keep it here. It's Dowling 32, Waukee 25. Pfeiffer held to 7 points at halftime. He's got 7 more here in the third quarter, And he has 14 for the contest, 32-26 they put it. Dowling with the lead by 6. Let's take a look at our first half scoring for Dowling. The Maroons had 6 players score at halftime. Carson Brown, Quincy Ferguson with 3 points each. Mata Brua with 2 points, battled foul trouble. Jalen Pettis battling foul trouble, had 4 points. Charlie Stewart with 5 points at halftime. The Maroons' leading scorer at halftime was Drew Marr with 9. He hit a 3 to start the third quarter. He now has 12 points, does Drew. As for Waukee, their leading scorer is Mason Costello with 8 points. 7 points for Pfeiffer at halftime. He now has 14. And then 2 points for Cameron Boyle and Cade Littlefield. For Waukee, only 4 players scoring in that first half. Dowling led 11-6 at the end of the first quarter and outscored Waukee 16-13 in the second quarter to lead at halftime 27-19. But the Warriors outscoring Dowling 7-2 here in the third quarter, Jimmy. And I know
it was up pace. We had thought, based on Dowling's output right now, Kanaski was going to call timeout, but then he gets 6 quick points from Pfeiffer, and that changed a lot here in the third quarter.
Dowling with the ball. Ferguson, an inside pass to Brua, and it's stolen away by Waukee. And now Randall gets the ball underneath the Pfeiffer, and he can't handle the pass. Out of bounds. Jimmy, you got some first half numbers we can get in.
Sure do. For Dowling as a team, they're 6 for 11 in the first half, or 54% from the field. 3-point arc, 3 of 9 for 33%. Waukee in the first half, 6 of 14 for 42%. And then from the 3-point line, 1 for 11 for just 9 points. So Maroons keep the Warriors outside the perimeter. Good things have been happening.
Here is Charlie Stewart in the lane. His shot is no good. Kind of forced the action there. Rebound comes out to Waukee. 32-26, Dowling by 6. Warriors with the basketball. This is Cooper Randall with it. Can't get a shot off. Now reverse pass. And gets it back out to Keyshawn Moore in the lane. Pull-up jumper, good. That's Costello again. And that is his 10th point.
Really, really good little baby shot from about 6 feet out. But a good, hard 2-dribble move to the lane by Costello.
32-28. Dowling by 4. 4.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. There's Brua with it. Waukee stays man-to-man. Dowling going towards the north basket here at the Waukee gym, right to left in front of us as we are up about 20 rows behind the benches here at Waukee High School. Here's Carson Brown on the baseline, and he draws the foul on the pass. It'll be out of bounds to Dowling. Officials tonight, Tyler Brady, Jason Seahusen, and Marion Petty. Fouls on Cooper Randall, his first. Team foul number 1 to the second half on either team. Dowling with the ball. Underneath Stewart, they ISO him on the right block. His shot no good. Good defense that time by Costello. Rebound out to Waukee. Costello in the lane, running jumper mid-post. Good. Good defense that time as Dowling's
Costello,
Joey
really,
Coppola was right there.
Really impressive little ball player in himself.
6'1" sophomore, first year of varsity basketball. Here's Stewart coming off a ball screen by Brua. He'll launch the 3. It's up and off the back iron and falls through. Hit the rim, bounced up, hit the board, backboard, and bounced through a Jimmy Cataldo shot on the south side. How about that?
We always got those. We always got those rolls. The ball hit the rim probably 3 different times.
My goodness.
It's one of those, if you're Coach Tilking, that you look like, oh, no, don't do that. Yes!
Mata's second 3 of the year, and he's got 7 points tonight for Dowling. 35-30 Maroons. Now a long 3 off the back iron, no good for Waukee and Costello. Rebound Dowling, and here's Coppola. Joey in the ball game, the sophomore for the Maroons. He works himself underneath, tries to pass it on Stewart at the baseline. It's stolen away by Boyle. Here's Waukee in transition. They get the ball in the corner. This is Littlefield. His shot up and no good, right in front of the Waukee bench.
Maroons are having a lot of success defending the 3-point shot. Over 3 right now, Waukee is in the second half, combined for their 1 for 11 in the first. Can keep them outside. If they can keep themselves outside that line and pressure that shot, it's been good.
Here's Marr in the lane. His shot no good. The ball tipped out of bounds. They say it went off Costello. Or check that off of Pfeiffer, out of bounds to Dowling. The Maroons will have it under their own basket with 2:52 remaining, and Dowling by 5 here, Jimmy.
You're looking for who's going to step up and make shots here. Drew Morrow seems a little gassed right now, which is tough. I mean, the energy he puts into this game, he wears down a little bit.
And now Brua in the lane. His shot no good. Rebound out to Waukee. Here's Littlefield with it. Dowling by 5 with 2:40 remaining here in the third quarter. Earlier tonight, the Dowling girls 11-0. They defeated Waukee 37-30. And here's again Costello in the lane. His shot up and good. And he's got 6 of his 14 points here in the third quarter.
Dowling didn't step in on the dribble drive, which gave Costello an open look. As a defensive coach, that's got to frustrate you.
Here's Brua. Upper right block, no good. Didn't get his feet set very well. Rebound out to Waukee. And in the lane, I don't think they're going to count it as Costello got loose, and now the officials huddle up. No shot, and a foul on Dowling, and this will be. And Marr will pick up his first foul, I believe. 2:09 remaining here in the third quarter. Out of bounds to Waukee. Although the Waukee fans wanted the continuation.
In the NBA, that's good.
Yep, but not here. Dowling by 3. Here's Costello. He's feeling it. Right block, or right elbow. His shot no good. Rebound Dowling and Coppola. Joey with it. Tomorrow. Drew in the lane. Goes through, and the shot's no good. Drew the foul. This will be on Costello, his first.
He's getting Drew Marr's getting to the hoop pretty regularly. I mean, he's getting contested, but he's finding his way to get to the basket. He's either drawing the fouls or the ball's going the hoop. Continue doing that, I think good things continue to happen for Drew.
And the first free throw is good by Drew Marr. He's got 13 points tonight. 5 for 5 at the free throw line is Drew.
Oh, goodness. You almost knew when you said that the ball was going to get missed.
Second free throw, no good. Yes, you can
You're
call it.
You're supposed to say that after the second shot.
36-32, Dowling by 4. I did it during the girls' game with Babinette, so I've done that tonight. And now here's Costello again, shot up and good. Jimmy, they can't stop him. Can't stop him.
Costello's posing a
16 points for Costello. 36-34, Dowling by 2. Minute and a half remaining, third quarter. Underneath as Carson Brown, he gets to Pettis. His shot up and no good. And a rebound out to Waukee. Maroons going cold from the field. Waukee with it. Here's Littlefield. Backs in. Leaves it for Jenkins. Deion Jenkins out to Costello. In the corner it goes for 3. It's in and out, no good by Keyshawn Moore. Rebound Costello. His put back up and no good. Rebound slapped out of bounds. They say it went off Carson Brown. So it'll be Waukee possession. Charlie Stewart will check in for the Maroons.
The success that Costello's having scoring the second half is causing Dowling to come off their defenders and double team the dribble drive, which is leaving guys open on the wing. Waukee just is not hitting those shots.
Dowling's lead has been 9 in this contest. Now a long 3, no good by the Warriors, and that's Cooper Randall who just checked in. Rebound Dowling, and here is Coppola. Jolie, pull-up jumper, right elbow, up and short with the shot. Rebound Rogers. Jaden Rogers in there. Down court is Littlefield. Pull-up jumper, up, good. And we're tied at 36 with 36 seconds remaining. Littlefield with his 4th point. Here's Coppola with it. To Odie. Back out to Coppola and then Odie. Odie between the circles, guarded by Littlefield. Maroons trying to hold for the last shot. 15 seconds remaining. To Marr on the right wing. 11 seconds. Marr guarded by Jenkins. Marr tries to attack the glass. Lose control of the basketball with his right hand. Stolen away by Rogers. Down court, a shot up and no good by Jenkins. Out of bounds to Dowling with 7/10 of a second remaining here in the third quarter. Tied at 36, Jimmy.
Maroons just got caught looking at Drew trying to create a shot, and certainly it's something you can't have.
Marr, half-court shot up, and it hits the backboard, no good, and we are tied at 36. Dowling and Waukee here on Iowa Catholic Radio. We'll take a timeout. Along with Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. Jennifer Phelps, our studio producer, and we've come to the end of the third quarter. Dowling 36, Waukee 36 on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
And we're back here at the Waukee Gym alongside Jimmy Cataldo. I'm Mark Hamadale. What an exciting game and finish I'm sure we'll have here in the boys contest. 36-all, Dowling and Waukee. Waukee with the first possession of the fourth quarter. They go left to right in front of us. They work it inside to Pfeiffer. Reverse pass out front to Littlefield. Both teams have been man-to-man. Now a long three by Littlefield. Top of the key, good, and Waukee has its first lead of the night. 39-36, a three-pointer by Cade Littlefield.
Well, this is the point when guys like Drew Morrow have to take over. Charlie Stewart has to get to the rack.
Now the Maroons with the basketball, and they do get inside and draw the foul. It'll be on Costello, his second. What a half or what a quarter for Costello. He had 8 of his 16 points in that third quarter. Maroons couldn't stop him.
Couldn't stop him. Waukee and themselves as a team were 7 of 11 from the field just in the third quarter alone.
Dowling inbounds the ball. Stewart to Drew Morrow, Jalen Pettis, Carson Brown, and Quincy Ferguson. Now here's Morrow toward the basket. His shot up and no good. Drew the foul, and he'll get 2 free throws out of this.
As the momentum's starting to shift over to
Costello picked up number 3. Go ahead, Jimmy.
As the momentum shifts a little bit towards Waukee, shot selection becomes very important for the Maroons. Of course, not looking for the ill-contested three-point shot. They're doing a great job getting to the basket on their penetration. Continue to do that. Success continues to happen.
Second free throw, no good by Morrow. 39-37. Waukee by 2. Long three coming by Costello, and it's out of bounds. As it bounces out of bounds, hits the underside of the backboard. It'll be Waukee basketball, and that was not Costello that shot that. That was Cooper Randall. So Waukee 4 of 7 from free throw line through 3 quarters. Dowling 6 of 8 at the free throw line. Jimmy, you got any numbers?
Dowling 7 of 20 from the field through 3, and 5 of 13 at the 3-point for 38%. Waukee really getting after it here in this third quarter. 13 of 25 for 52% from the field, but continues to struggle from the 3-point line. 1 of 16 through 3 quarters for Waukee.
All right, Pettis with the shot of the baseline after a good feed from Charlie Stewart. It's no good. Rebound Waukee. They come back. A shot up and no good. Rebound Charlie Stewart. Back and forth they go. Waukee by 2. 6.5 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter. Pettis in the lane. Bounced the ball off the shoe of Keyshawn Moore. Now Moore down court. His shot up no good. Rebound Dowling and Carson Brown. I'll tell you.
Got a little lucky there.
Both teams are playing with a lot of effort. And you see it between the baskets, and then there's no finish. And Waukee has done that several times here, and so is Dowling. Morrow with it for Dowling, loses it, but Quincy Ferguson picks it up. Both teams stay man-to-man. Here's Ferguson down the lane. A jump stop, a shot up, and no good. Rebound Waukee, and a foul on Ferguson.
Super nice move by Quincy Ferguson, forcing the up and under. Defender gets off his feet, has an open layup, but just couldn't convert there. And on the miss, he forces himself to foul.
So second foul on Ferguson. Team foul number 2 on Dowling here in the second half. Waukee has 4 team fouls. And the timeout situations. Both teams have 4 timeouts remaining. 39-37. Waukee here at the Waukee Fieldhouse. Maroons trying to go for the sweep on the road after the Dowling girls a winner tonight, 37-30 over Waukee in a low-scoring game. And now down the lane, a shot no good by Keyshawn Moore, and he loses out of bounds. It'll be Dowling basketball.
Big possession for the Maroons here. Down 2, 5.5 minutes. Momentum has definitely swung over to Waukee the second half.
Here's Morrow underneath and a charging foul on Drew. Yep, he drew his shoulder down. A great defense that time by the Warriors. And they anticipated that play as Owen Shipper drew the charge.
Great look and feed into Drew Morrow on the block. Just getting aggressive to the basket. Had it open. Defender comes over, gets position, and draws the charge.
We've been on this score for 2 minutes. Waukee made their run, and we stayed there. And now underneath. And as I say that, a shot from the left hand good by Vance Pfeiffer. The basket will count. A foul on Dowling. Stewart picks up the foul for the Maroons. That'll be his first. Team foul number 4 on Dowling. So both teams with 4 team fouls each. And Pfeiffer to the line for an and one. And his free throw, no good. Rebound Dowling. And Matabrua. 16 points for Pfeiffer. Dowling with the ball. They work inside to Brua. Now Stewart has it. His shot up and no good and drew the foul. And Charlie Stewart tonight, that's the 3rd or 4th time that he has drawn fouls. 2 of them have been for and ones.
It's so frustrating as a Dowling coach right now because you're getting to the rim. You're getting the layups you're looking for. They're just not going down right now.
Stewart's first free throw, no good. Under 5 minutes to play. It's 41-37, Waukee by 4. This is the Warriors' largest lead. Dowling trying to pick up his first win since 2007 here at the Waukee gym. The second free throw just grazed the rim, out of bounds to Waukee. So Stewart misses 2 free throws there. Dowling's been outscored 5-1 here in the 4th quarter. Here's Littlefield with it. Dribble handoff to Keyshawn Moore. They work the right side. This is Pfeiffer with it. Out to Littlefield. Avoids the 3, won't shoot it. Now they try to pass underneath. And slipping and falling is Keyshawn Moore, and it's stolen away by Drew Morrow, and a whistle and a foul on Littleton. That'll be his first foul.
Not a bad foul by Littleton. Drew Morrow certainly had a couple steps on him and had a clear shot to the lane. A good foul to protect the possession.
Yeah, tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Mercy One. Alongside Jim Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadeo. Jennifer Phelps, our studio producer. And we're here at the Waukee gym. Waukee and Dowling, and a long 3 after the inbounds play by Carson Brown. It's no good. Rebound comes out to the Warriors. Now Littlefield for 3, it's good.
Yeah.
Waukee has got hot here in this 4th quarter. That's a pair of 3s for Littlefield. He's got 10 points. And it's 44-37. And a 30-second timeout called by Dowling. We'll keep it here. And the Warriors with their largest lead of 7. And, they're going to go to full. We'll keep it here, Jim, with Dowling trailing by 7. And this little run by Waukee was interrupted because they made a nice run, took a lead. Dowling matched it back, and then we stayed on that same score for about 2.5 minutes, and now a flurry here, and it's Waukee up 7.
So the second half, you saw such a tremendous effort out of the Maroons in the first half. What's interesting is in our shots right now, we're just not getting any legs into it. Everything seems short. Go back to Charlie Stewart's 2 free throws. Both of them grazed the rim. The last 3-point shot there by Carson Brown grazes the front of the rim. Just nobody's getting their legs in there. They're a little bit gassed. Drew Morrow, who's taken the ball to the rack many times this game, is trying to get his energy back for this final 4-minute run. But certainly the legs seemed a little bit wobbly here for the Maroons. So timeouts may be really important as we move into the latter part of this final game.
Yeah, final quarter, yeah. 3 timeouts remaining for Dowling, 4 for Waukee. Team fouls, Waukee with 6, so Dowling will be shooting free throws every Waukee foul. And the Maroons have committed 4 team fouls. Near steal that time by Waukee as Dowling has the ball. Here's Ferguson with it. Top of the key for three. Drew Marr, it's no good. And that just grazed the left side of the rim, and it's a rebound out to Waukee, and the Warriors now trying to extend their lead from 7 with 3:50 remaining. This is Randall with it. Top of the key for Pfeiffer for three. It's no good. Gets his own rebound. And the put back up, and no good. Drew draws the foul as Morrow will commit the foul, and Pfeiffer to the free throw line.
Certainly the shot you were looking for if you're a Dowling coach. You got Pfeiffer shooting from the top of the key, three-pointer. Misses almost everything, but his defender didn't block him out.
First free throw by Pfeiffer, good. Foul was on Charlie Stewart. That's his second. Foul troubles for Dowling. Pettis with 3 and quite a few with 2 for Waukee. Costello with 3 fouls. Second free throw good by Pfeiffer, and he's starting to light it up. He's got 18 points, and it's 46-37. Warriors by 9. 3.5 to play. And here's Bruoff for 3. It's no good. Mata missed. And a rebound out to Waukee and Cooper Randall. Over to Costello. Dowling showing a little bit of token full court pressure. And they back up as Waukee advances across the timeline. This is Randall for 3. It's no good. Rebound Dowling and Drew Morrow.
Got to get a good shot this possession for the Maroons.
Well, they're settling for jumpers. You want to attack the glass as much as possible here. Ferguson will. Quincy in the lane. His shot is blocked. Good weak side help. Littlefield had him defended, but the block by Pfeiffer. Out of bounds to Dowling. They're inbound and thrown basket. Ferguson to Carson Brown for 3 in the corner. No good. Rebound Pfeiffer. Waukee with it. Under 3 minutes to play and leading by 9. Warriors in no hurry here. They may try to milk the clock. Dowling has fouls to give. They have at least one to give. It's 5 team fouls. And Waukee just going to their run an offense, but don't run an offense. And now a timeout called by head coach Kevin Kanaski. We'll take a break as the Waukee coach calls a timeout. We'll take a 1-minute break. The score, Waukee 46, Dowling 37 with 2.5 remaining here in the fourth quarter from the Waukee gym on Iowa Catholic Radio.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
How can I speak up without shutting people down?
Boy, this one is pretty easy to answer, but really hard to do. The easy part of the answer is that every human being is made to love truth. And so when you share it lovingly, calling them on to something greater that will give them happiness and freedom, that is, as the Bible says, good news of great joy. Unfortunately, we humans have a terrible tendency to do the right things for all the wrong reasons. So if we're sharing the truth just because we know we're right, or we want to win an argument, or want to chalk one up on the old soul-saving tally, we're not really trying to give the gift of Christ's love, so we're using the truth to lie, and that won't inspire anyone. On the other hand, remember that Jesus lived and spoke the truth perfectly, and some people still didn't believe. So if that happens to you, offer your sufferings to Christ and pray for the grace to get up again. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youngcatholicminute.com.
All right, we're back here at the Waukee gym at Waukee Fieldhouse. 46-37, Warriors with the lead over Dowling. Maroons were outscored 17-9 in the third quarter, and the Warriors have woke up, and now Dowling with the foul. Drew Morrow, a reach-around foul as he committed it on Randall. So second foul on Drew.
As you look to foul, I mean, right now I would foul about anybody but Littlefield.
Yeah.
Littlefield's 93% on the season. Everybody else for Waukee in the 60% or 50% range.
Pfeiffer, a 60% free thrower, and now in the lane, this is Costello. He's a 50% free throw shooter, and he draws the foul. And free throws come. It'll be O'Front of a 1-and-1. Ferguson picks up the foul, his third. And at the free throw line, Mason Costello, who has 16 points tonight. Front end of a 1-and-1. Free throw good. Costello a 50% free throw shooter on the year. Made it look like he's been shooting 100%. Second one up and no good. Rebound, Mata Brua. It's Brua, Ferguson, Carson Brown, Drew Morrow, and Charlie Stewart, the 5 on the floor that started the game. Morrow in the lane. Jumper up, no good. Tip, no good by Stewart. Gets his own rebound and drew the foul, and they'll call that on Littlefield. So Cade will pick up his second foul for Waukee. Team foul number 7 for the Warriors. And they're going to say this is a 1-on-1 because it was on the rebound here, Jimmy.
Well, Charlie, I'm sure his last 2 free throws are going through his head a little bit here. Gets his legs into the shot.
And the first one up and good. It's the front of the rim. Rolls around the back of the rim and goes through. Kind of like something you'd throw up.
You just got to remember to use your legs, especially late in the game, tired.
Yeah, no question. Second free throw by Stewart, short. Rebound kept alive by Brown, and Carson has it right from the Dowling bench. Over to Ferguson. Quincy in the lane. Leaves it for Brua. Mata turns, spins on the right block. His shot up, and good. How about that? Timeout Dowling. So Stewart hits one free throw, and Brua with the basket, and we've got what?
Full.
Yeah, we'll take one. Full timeout. Waukee 47, Dowling 40. We'll take a 1-minute break. Minute 43 remaining in the fourth quarter. Back to the Waukee gym in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Golden Rule Heating and Cooling. Since 1999, Golden Rule Heating and Cooling has been supporting customers with their rules to live by: respect, understanding, loyalty, expertise, and service. GoldenRulePHC.com.
And we're back here at the Waukee Gymnasium, Waukee Fieldhouse. Mark Emmerdale alongside Jimmy Cataldo. And how about that? A steal off the press. Dowling with the basket by Charlie Stewart. And all of a sudden it's 47-42. Waukee by 5 with a minute and a half to play. And the Maroons are gradually getting back. It's on the defensive end here, Jimmy.
Dowling's forced to press right now with about a minute 45 after that timeout. Quincy Ferguson jars the ball loose on a steal. Gets the ball down to Charlie Stewart at the baseline, and he finishes. And that's kind of been the story of the second half, is Dowling finishing at the rim. We've gotten to the rim so many times, it just hasn't converted for them. But certainly down 5 with a minute 34 left in the game. Anything can happen here. Pressure and steals. It's who's going to make the shot. As you look down at the 5 guys on the floor, who's going to step and make out the shot? I would see a lot of energy starting to get back into Drew Morrow. It's been extremely tiring for him as much as he's getting to the rim, but you can see the bounce in his legs right now.
Drew Morrow with leading Dowling in scoring with 14 points. Now Waukee inbounds the ball, length of the court they have to go, and now near steal by Brua. Mata couldn't come up with it as Costello did, and they advance it across the timeline, does Waukee. Minute 20 remaining, Dowling trailing by 5. Maroons trying to win here for the first time since 2007. And now they're in chase mode as Littlefield has it. Gets to Costello, and he's fouled by Stewart. So Charlie will pick up the foul.
Dowling certainly had the chance on the steal on that backcourt press. Went right through the hands of Mata, but very athletic play. Haven't forced a foul, and certainly the guy you don't want to foul right now is Littlefield, who got the ball there a couple times, forced a foul, Vance Pfeiffer.
So Pfeiffer to the free throw line. He has 18 points tonight, and this will be the front end of a 1-and-1. 18 foul on Dowling. Minute 10 to play. Waukee by 5. First free throw by Pfeiffer is good. 19 points for Vance Pfeiffer. Played on last year's state championship team here at Waukee. Of course, the team was split as Vance and Littlefield were the two remaining players from that team that stayed at Waukee. Second free throw good. He's got 20 points. And the remainder went over to Waukee Northwest. It was 49-42. Waukee by 7. Stewart underneath, his shot blocked. Blocked by Costello, out of bounds to Dowling with 63 seconds remaining.
It's a great play by the sophomore Costello, who's played a tremendous second half.
Ferguson will inbound it for the Maroons. Ferguson, Stewart, Brown, Morrow, and Brua. Underneath, Stewart is shot up and no good. Hits the deck. And a foul on Waukee. And free throws coming for Charlie Stewart. Cade Littlefield picks up the foul, his third. And Stewart back to the line. Drew Morrow right now leading scorer for Dowling with 14 points. Charlie Stewart with 8. And this will be a front of two-shot foul. First one is no good. Tonight's game on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, brought to you in part by Dental Associates, along with Construction Professionals and Ashworth Vision Clinic. We appreciate all they do. Second free throw, no good by Stewart. Rebound Waukee and Costello to Littlefield. Warriors advance across timeline. Cooper Randall. Now it's a game of keep away for Waukee. The Maroons are trying to foul, and they do, and Quincy Ferguson will pick up the foul. And that'll be his fourth with 50 seconds remaining.
Puts Randall at the line, who's a 75% shooter on the year. Down 7, 50 seconds.
Randall on the night has yet to score, but he'll get in front of a 1-on-1. It's no good. Scramble for the rebound. Brua comes away with it for Dowling. Dowling down court. Carson Brown, reverse layup. Up, good. And timeout Dowling. So Carson Brown with his 5th point. And we'll keep it here with 41 seconds remaining. Dowling with the timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. And the Warrior lead is 5, Jim.
Almost forgot to block out on that 1-on-1. Ball got loose off a little bit. Mata gets the loose ball, throws it down the court to Carson Brown. Tremendous reverse layup and athletic play by Carson.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio, brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and by Mercy One. And a reminder, you can like Iowa Catholic Radio on Facebook, and you can follow Iowa Catholic Radio on Twitter.
It's not a bad time to overplay any pass at this point. Try to get the steal on the inbounds. If you don't get the steal, you got to foul immediately. Get these guys on the line. Hoping that some of these percentages come back to haunt Waukee as a team. They're 64% as a team, but Littlefield is by far the dominant free throw shooter for Waukee Warriors at 93%.
All right, Waukee will inbound it. Have the length of the court to go. They lead by 5. Changing information here with a friend of mine from Johnson. They said Johnson won by 3. I asked him, girls or boys game?
Yeah.
So it's got to be the boys because we're the late game. We had an 8 o'clock start. Waukee inbounds it. They get to Littlefield, and he's fouled in the backcourt. And he'll go to the free throw line with 39 seconds remaining. So it's going to be a free throw.
Fouling Vance Pfeiffer, really close to getting the steal on there. Pfeiffer's length, I mean, he's the biggest, tallest kid on the court. Certainly his length we talked about would cause some problems, and it has late in this game.
Pfeiffer to the line, and this will be a 2-shot. I don't know, it'll be a 1-on-1. Is that right? 19 foul? I think Coach Kanaski and the official are looking at that. No, it is 10. Okay, 2-shot foul. That's what I thought. First one up, good. 21 points now for Vance Pfeiffer. And it was number 6 Johnston defeating number 9 Waukee tonight by 3 points.
Northwest.
And the second free throw good. 22 points now for Pfeiffer. Here is Brua in the lane, and his shot is blocked, and a rebound to Waukee and Mason Costello, and Mata Brua picks up his, third foul?
It's his third.
So Johnson boys defeating Valley by 3, and that is Dowling's next opponent, Valley, next Tuesday, and Johnston a week from tonight at the Dowling Gym. So that was a great game over at Johnston.
Oh, I can only imagine.
And the
both those.
number 1 Johnson girls rolled Valley tonight in the girls contest, so a doubleheader sweep at Johnston.
With the loss to Eli Raritan for Valley, you really look and see what kind of team they have. But they certainly have the pieces.
Free throw up and short. It's no good, and a rebound out to Dowling. And now here's Morrow for three. It's good with 18 seconds to play. Timeout, Dowling.
We've had trouble converting the layups throughout the second half, and Drew Morrow shoots a leaning three-point shot.
Yes, he does.
3-4 feet beyond the arc and hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
Dowling out of timeouts. Waukee has two at their disposal. The score, 51-47. Waukee by 4 over Dowling with 18 seconds remaining. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. And let's thank our fine friends at Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, and Mercy One. Of course, the folks here at Waukee High School, Eric Boyle, saw his son play a little earlier, and I want to thank Eric and all the staff here at Waukee High School. And Waukee will be at Dowling later on in the season, thanks to Beth Collins and, of course, their basketball coaches here at Waukee, Danny Franklin, the girls coach, and Kevin Kanaski, the boys coach, as Dowling with pressure in the backcourt and a whistle of foul on Dowling. Keyshawn Moore will go to the free throw line, I believe, for 2 shots. He
foul on Carson Brown.
Carson with his third, yep. So Dowling over the 10 foul limit. So 2 shots for Waukee the rest of the way. Up next for Dowling, we mentioned they'll be on the road at Valley next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. Maroons losing by 10 early in the year, 62-52 back on December 10th, and the rematch is this coming Tuesday. Second free throw good by Moore. So Keyshawn with his first point of the night, 52-47 Waukee. The next week it's mentioned at Valley and then against Johnson 1 week from tonight at the Dowling Gym. That's Dowling's schedule. For Waukee, they will be on the road tomorrow at Roosevelt. 3 o'clock girls game, followed by the boys game around 5 o'clock. Then next week they're at Urbandale and at Southeast Polk for Coach Kevin Kanaski. And now ball thrown away as the Waukee player went right into the Dowling bench. That was Cade Littlefield, helped up by members of the Dowling bench. It'll be Dowling basketball with 6 seconds remaining, and Waukee's going to keep the streak alive. Maroons have not won here in quite a while. Here's Bruoff for 3. It's no good. And that should do it. 52-47 the final. Waukee overcomes a 8-point halftime deficit and defeats Dowling 52-47 here at the Waukee Fieldhouse. Jim Cataldo, it's a tough night for the Maroons. Waukee got it tied at the end of the third quarter, and they outscored Dowling here in the fourth quarter, 16-11 to win it, 52-47.
It's a tale of 2 halves. It's sort of a replay of the Urbandale game on the opposite end for the Maroons. It just looked like they ran out a little bit of gas. They played so hard coming out this game, and this was such an up-tempo game back and forth. Handed to Waukee. They certainly matched Dowling's intensity throughout the first half and continued on the second half. Just Dowling looked like they lost a lot of their legs in the second half.
Yeah, it was certainly evident at times down the stretch, but congratulations to Waukee as they improve their record now to 4-5 on the year. Dowling falls to 3-5 on the season. And again, up next for Dowling, they play this coming Tuesday night. They'll take on the Valley Tigers at Valley. Tigers ranked number 9 right now and coming off a 3-point loss at Johnson tonight. For Waukee, they'll be on the road tomorrow afternoon. They'll be at Roosevelt, 3 o'clock game for the girls, the boys to follow as Waukee at Roosevelt. Then next week, Waukee playing Tuesday at Urbandale and Friday, a week from tonight, at Southeast Polk. That's next on their schedule. Along with Jim Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. Jennifer Phelps on the studio, our studio producer tonight. We'll tabulate some of the scoring, come back and bring you some post-game. Coach Steelking could be up with us. He mentioned he would, so we'll see if he does. But tough break for the Maroons as it's Waukee, the winners tonight over Dowling. Final score in the boys game, 52-47. And the girls' game won by Dowling, 37-30. Dowling girls now 11-0 on the season. And the Waukee Warriors now have extended their winning streak over Dowling to 9 in a row, dating back to the last 2 or 3 years. So we'll take a break and come back with a post-game show from the Waukee Fieldhouse alongside Jim Cataldo and Mark Amadale. Final score in the boys' contest, 52-47, Waukee over Dowling, here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever noticed that most people think that rules apply to others but not to themselves? They always consider themselves to be the exception. But what ends up happening is that everybody is an exception, and so the rules don't apply to anybody. The result is something worse than chaos. It's a loss of all the categories of respect and justice. G.K. Chesterton says that when the exception has become the rule, that is the worst of all possible tyrannies. When the cardinal, formerly known as Ratzinger, gave his final homily before the papal conclave, he said, "We are living under the tyranny of relativism." What is relativism? It's when there are no rules, only exceptions. The man about to become Pope was echoing Chesterton exactly. Want more than a minute? Chesterton.org.
And we're back here at the Waukee Gymnasium and Fieldhouse. Mark Amadale, Jim Cataldo. Final score, Waukee 52, Dowling 47 in this boys contest. Two teams were tied at 36 going into the fourth quarter, and Waukee outscoring Dowling 16-11 in the fourth quarter to win at 52-47. And again, the Waukee Warriors improved their record to 4-5 on the year. Dowling falls to 3-5. And let's take a look at some of the scoring in tonight's contest. Waukee had a couple players in double figures. Actually, 3 players now in double figures, led by Vince Pfeiffer. He had 22 points, 7 points at halftime, and 15 more in the second half for his 22, followed by Mason Costello with 17 points. He had 8 of those 17 in the first half and closed out with 17 points. 10 points for Cade Littlefield. Then rounding out scoring for Waukee, off the bench, Cameron Boyle with 2 free throws for 2 points. Keyshawn Moore, the starting point guard, with 1 point for the Warriors, as Waukee went 12 of 21 at the free throw line. 6 players in the scoring column for Waukee, and 3 of the 6 in double figures tonight for the Warriors. Always have a fan. Mr. O'Connor, good to see you. How are things in Dubuque? All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I can't do much about that.
I think you got your one fan from Dubuque. They still listen to you.
Well, I still get let into Dubuque every once in a while,
That's
but
great.
that's Mike's dad, and what a super guy. He's got the key to the city. And I interviewed him the week after, and Mike said, "I think I can interview your dad." He said, "Oh, yeah, you can talk to him." Oh, yeah. He's proud of that key to the city. So there's your scoring for Waukee. 22 points, Vance Pfeiffer tonight, and 17 for Mason Costello. And now for Dowling, last report, Charlie Stewart finished with 8. Drew Marr with 17, and that still remains the same. So those are your scoring leaders for the Maroons. 5 points for Carson Brown. Quincy Ferguson finishing with 3. And Mata Bruoff battled foul trouble. He had 2 quick fouls in that first half. Saw limited action, but he had 7 of his 9 points in the second half to finish with 9 points. And Jalen Pettis had all 4 of his points in the first half. Let's see, Jack Odie did not score tonight for the Maroons, and we've got to wrap it up. So Dowling with 6 players in the scoring column, led by Drew Morrow, 17 points, and Charlie Stewart with 8. Dowling was 8 of 14 at the free throw line tonight. And Jimmy, you got to look at the shooting percentages tonight for both teams and some rebounding.
So Dowling from the field goes 10 of 28 for the game, 35%. 3-point arc, 6 of 20 for 30%. Total rebounds for the Maroons, I have them down for 28 rebounds. Turnovers, got a little costly there for them late in the game. Got them for 14 turnovers on the game. Waukee really came on in the second half, as we have mentioned. shot 14 of 28 for the game for 50% from the field. Three-point line or the arc, as we talked, struggled. Hit a couple in the fourth quarter. Finished the game 3 of 21 for 14%. Total rebounds for Waukee, 35 total rebounds for Waukee. Really cleaned up some of their turnovers. Finished the game with 13, as I added 13 turnovers for Waukee. So certainly a tale of two halves. Waukee really got hot coming out in the second half. Really poured it on Maroons. Maroons struggled to find the ball to get in the hole. But certainly give it to the Warriors. Some hot shooting by Costello. Vance Pfeiffer, we knew he was going to be tough tonight. Certainly came on in the second half to finish with 22 points.
No question. Costello, the sophomore in that group, but Littlefield and Pfeiffer, both juniors, and both were sophomores on that state championship team last year. Those are the only two roster players that came over or that stayed here. The rest of them were on the sophomore team last year, and with a lot of inexperience, but you can show how their experience was. Dowling led by 8 at halftime, and then Waukee, a 17-9 run in the third quarter, tied the score at 36, and then, as you mentioned, Jim, outscored Dowling 16-11 in the fourth quarter to win it, 52-47. But the Maroons got off to a great start tonight. They led by 5 at the end of the first quarter, and they were up 8 at halftime. And I think Coach Kanaski challenged those two veterans, Littlefield and Pfeiffer. Hey, we got to start sharing the ball. We got to start making good decisions. And they got Costello involved. He was very active in the first half. He had 8 points at halftime. But that third quarter, he had 4 baskets, and he was unstoppable for Waukee or for Dowling. They couldn't stop Costello in that third quarter when he had 8 points.
Costello had such a nice shot, mid-range shot, which are some of the toughest shots to take, but was certainly getting to the rim, which, it shows that, Dowling losing a little bit of their energy throughout the third quarter, trying to play defense on these guys exerts a lot of energy. And so the Maroons started losing their legs as the half started winding in. We talked about the balance attack that Waukee has shown in their season. And, again, you see it again tonight. Pfeiffer with 22, Costello with 17, Littlefield with 10. Certainly 3 guys that you have to defend in the entire half-court set. Who could make the shot from anywhere, and it just exhumed a lot of energy from Dowling throughout the second half.
Yeah, it certainly did. Dowling had its largest lead of 9 points in the first half, and Waukee's largest lead here in the second half was 9 points, and in between is where all the game was played. If you joined us late, the Dowling girls continued their winning streak. They defeated Waukee in a low-scoring game, 37-30 in Game 1 of our doubleheader. Dowling girls now 11-0 in the season, ranked 4th in Class 5A, and they set up their matchup. Well, they have at Valley on Tuesday, and then 1 week from tonight, Dowling and number 1 Joensen kicks off our girl-boy doubleheader next Friday night, Jim. And so we're going to take our final break and come back. I'm not sure if Coach Phil Keene will be up, but he is always welcome to, and sometimes he does come up. So we'll take a break. We'll come back and wrap things up. Thanks to you for sitting in. Well, you're a little bit late. You missed happy hour because you didn't get off in time. You didn't have the 6:15 game, so here you are.
It's a long way away from home right now.
We're in Dallas County, rural Dallas County. Ask the director about that, the election director about borderline.
He could probably tell me where the nearest precinct to Polk County is from right here. And
you probably could, but you don't want to tell. You don't want to ask him now. It's been a busy week relocating all those. So, all right, we'll take a break. Final score in the boys' game, it was Waukee 52, Dowling 47. And the girls' contest, the Dowling girls 37, Waukee 30. Along with Jim Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadell. Our thanks to Scott Babinett tonight. We'll take one final break and be back to the Waukee Fieldhouse here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Amazon Smile is a simple way to support Iowa Catholic Radio. When you are shopping on Amazon, consider shopping through Amazon Smile instead. You get all the same great deals, and your order will also help support Iowa Catholic Radio. All you need to do is choose Iowa Catholic Radio as your nonprofit to support when you first log in, and Amazon will do the rest. Every Amazon Smile order you make, Amazon will donate to Iowa Catholic Radio. Support Iowa Catholic Radio while you shop at smile.amazon.com. And thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And welcome back to the Waukee Fieldhouse alongside Jim Cataldo, Mark Amadale. Final score tonight in the boys contest. Waukee defeats Dowling 52-47 as Waukee overcomes a 27-19 halftime deficit to defeat Dowling, led by Vance Pfeiffer with 22 points and Mason Costello with 17, and third scorer was Cade Littlefield with 10 for the Waukee Warriors. Dowling was led by Drew Morrow, 17 points, 8 points for Charlie Stewart. And rounding out scoring for Dowling, 9 points for Mata Brua, 5 points for Carson Brown, 4 points for Jalen Pettis, and 3 points for Quincy Ferguson, as Joey Coppola did not score, and neither did Jack Odie in the game. Is that right? The Maroons had Coppola look at the subs here, Jim. Odie and Pettis. Yeah,
I think that's as deep as he went tonight.
He went 8.
I think. Coach Teal Kings is trying to find that and as he's coming up, is trying to find that balanced group to get in there, and it'd be interesting to hear some of the comments here in the post game.
Well, we'll find out as Coach has joined us. We're going to make this quick because I know when you're at a loss, the first thing I want to do is interview a coach after a loss, and I'd love to get you when you lose too, Cataldo. Don't think I don't. But Coach Teal Kings, thanks for coming up. Tough night. You had a great first half. Tried to get that into the second half, and it's like. Great start, but found it tough to finish. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, great first half. Put a couple shots in the bucket to start the second half, and then hit a dry spell for a long time, for a really long time. And you credit Waukee; they defended us well. I thought we got some really good looks that didn't go down. I think
we did too. We saw that as like that's a good look.
I know it works both ways. Sometimes when the ball's going in the hole, it's contagious and everybody's kind of feeling it, and it works the other way too, where you get kind of cold and nobody can throw it into the ocean. And that hoop looked really small for that second half for our guys. And on the other end, they're good. They got guys. We knew they'd make a run, even when we got up there bigger at the beginning of the third quarter. You knew it was coming, and it did. And so credit to them. We knew they'd get hot and make shots that they missed in the first half. And our guys fought, though. They competed to the end, and it is what it is. That second half, we kind of all got we had a hard time putting in the bucket.
Well, in the post, you talked about Pfeiffer being a problem. Yeah. You held him to 7 points at halftime. You burned up probably 4 fouls doing that because Pettis and Brua were in foul trouble, your post players. Then the second half, he just went off. He had 22 for the game. He had 7 at halftime, and he just went off in the second half. Then he found his partner Littlefield, and then this Costello guy, the sophomore, really played well.
Costello got hot.
He did.
He did. They all played well. Those are good players. I mean, Costello made some big shots, some tough ones, and I thought we could have guarded him a little bit tougher, but credit to him. But you're right. Pfeiffer's a different player, like we talked about before the game. We knew he would give us problems, and he did. He scores it in different ways and makes it look easy. I mean, he made some contested jump shots that are tough shots, and he makes those look really easy. And then Littlefield obviously is who he is, and we lost him a couple times and got burned for it, but he's going to get his. He's that good of a player, so.
You see your team coming off that second half at Urbandale, and it really kind of came into this game in this first half. The energy that your team exhumed throughout that half, high energy, up and down. They played about as good as a first half as you probably had hoped, but it just seemed like as you got into that second half, as you got deeper into that second half, so we talked, it seemed like your team was losing its legs, and you could tell in their shots, as you were talking, their outside shots were coming up short. But I didn't think you had a problem getting to the hoop at all tonight. It just, you couldn't get those short shots to go in.
Right, yeah, and it's hard. It breaks your spirit a little bit when you're having a hard time scoring. It affects all other parts of your game. And I'm not saying, I mean, our guys fought. They played hard, but it's a tough mental thing too, and it just wears on you. And I agree with you. We lost our edge a little bit, and I think our spirit was a little bit broken because we were having so many struggles really on both ends in that second half. But it's not a lack of effort, it's just one of those things you go through as basketball, man. You go through spells where you just struggle to score it, and then we get good looks and get to the rim, and we miss a lot. We miss free throws, and it's one of those nights.
So you can tell you're looking for those 5 guys that you want when to stop the bleeding a little bit or stop the momentum of those other teams. You're looking for the right 5 guys to get in there, and certainly it's a team that's learning from you. We talked about this in the pregame. Chemistry is huge. Leadership is huge. That right now everybody's just struggling to understand their role right now in your offensive sets. At times you have guys trying to get to the hoop, and it looks like it's almost 1-on-5 as your other guys are standing out waiting for the kick out to happen. But I'm sure that you're looking for those 5 guys that you can get in there to stop those momentums, stop those bleedings. It just seems like we struggle to find those 5.
We do. And some of it's IQ, and just a natural feel and natural reads. And I think some of it, I thought what we struggled with tonight is when they started making their run, we had the mentality of we got to get it back right away. And we had a lot of possessions. It was one pass, and we're chucking a 3. And they're not terrible shots. It's not a selfishness thing. It's just one of those things where you understand when that team feels good on the offensive end, you got to make them grind it out a little bit defensively and be really picky about your shot selection. But those are shots that we made in the first half. And so if those shots do go in, then so you can kind of argue both ways. But when they don't go in, it is easy to but we do have to be pickier, I think, with shot selection at time. The good thing is we don't have selfish kids. It's not that. It's coaching, to be honest. We got to do a better job kind of showing them the way. We haven't been in that situation a lot where we're playing with a big lead and trying to hold a team off. And so we got a lot of guys that are still learning a lot. And we'll get there. You got to learn the hard way, too, sometimes. And this one was a salty one, but our kids will bounce back.
52-47, Waukee a winner here at the Waukee Fieldhouse over Dowling. We're visiting with Clay Thielking, the Dowling boys basketball coach, following the game. And, Coach, Jimmy and I go back to Tuesday's game and the confidence that team took from coming from behind against Urbandale. You kind of take that into your next game. And, we saw that in the first half, but all of a sudden, adjustments by Waukee. They got shots to fall. They found Pfeiffer. They found Littlefield. And of course, there's sophomore who came in and did a nice job. Costello, that really, hurt. But yet you had the comeback, and all of a sudden you're tied going into the fourth quarter. So it is learning. And this is a team, and as we talked about before the season, probably about a whole grand total of 8 minutes of varsity floor time for Carson Brown and Quincy Ferguson. Everybody else was on the sophomore team or a backup, Charlie Stewart, a backup on last year's team. So not a whole lot of game experience. And when you set the bar high you did on Tuesday night, you don't want to keep it there. But now, this will be a learning experience, especially when you get to the tape. That's got to be fun for you.
Yeah, we'll learn a lot from
Teaching
this.
There, yeah. Absolutely,
a lot of teachable moments. There's a lot to learn. And we did a lot of really good things, too. We did. It's just one of those things that it's offensive execution. I do credit Waukee. I mean, we're at the point of the season where teams know what we're going to do, and so our execution has to be sharper. There are a lot of areas where we struggle in execution, and there's a lot of room for improvement there. And we got to continue to focus on that in practice because it's not easy in this league, especially. Like it's not easy to score. The other team.
And now you're facing a team in Valley for the second time this year. We just heard that Valley lost by 3 to Joensen at Joensen tonight, so they'll be ready. But they're playing without one of their best players we saw this year, Reardon kid. Eli's out with the ACL. Had 37 against us last month. But you'll be at the Valley Gym this Tuesday night, and we'll have it on the air. But your kids will show up, I'm sure. We'll see a lot of floor burns you probably have to deal with in the whirlpool this week for the kids.
Yep, it's quick turnaround and it's good. I mean, when we just talked to them, like it should hurt. We'll learn from this, but we got to turn the page quickly, and those boys will be ready Tuesday night.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for coming up and joining us.
Yeah.
And we'll hope we have a little bit better courtside seats next week. Coach Rose does a good job at Valley, but they heard that Cataldo was coming to Dallas County, and they put us up here in the Euchre seats, 5 rows from the wall.
We were in the middle school section.
Yeah, we're in middle school section all night. You fit right in, Cataldo.
Yeah, exactly. Not the same maturity level, right?
Exactly. Well, you'll get a coach's kid next couple of years. You'll find out.
You're right.
That's right. Clay, thank you.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Right.
Thanks for
Thanks,
everything.
guys.
Clay Thielking, Dowling boys basketball coach, joined us here on the post-game show following tonight's game, and that'll wrap up our broadcast tonight. And Jim Cataldo, thanks for moving over from the girls' game to the boys. We got to introduce Scott Babinett to our listening audience, and we found out he's a pretty good coach, but he's a pretty doggone good analyst. And then we bring you to the boys' game, and you're trying to keep up. It's a little bit quicker at this level, all right? A little quicker, but you did a great job, Jim. Thanks.
I tell you this, as a fan, I know I'm a great parent as a fan of boys basketball, but to keep up with the action and follow the stats, it's a much quicker game than the girls. But that's why it's fun. Both boys and girls basketball here at Dowling is extremely fun to watch, and these guys are going to bounce back. What Coach Thielking's finding out in that locker room is that he's got great young men in there who will understand adversity and understand how to bounce back from this. And then you look at guys who may feel like, hey, I want more minutes in the game, and it's going to challenge them a little bit. It's going to challenge them a little bit in practice, and you create that competition. Play harder in practice, and that's how you're going to get better, and how you're going to find your role players stepping in, your leadership stepping up, and certainly these wins are going to start coming in.
And you take that from the practice court to the main court on Tuesday and Friday nights, and you may have something. Yep. But we'll see. Well, Jimmy, we'll see you over at Valley on Tuesday. Thanks for all you do, and have a great weekend. All right, Jim Cataldo, my broadcast partner tonight. I want to thank him and Scott Babinett, who was sitting in as Steve DeVinny enjoys Florida for the next 10 days. That'll wrap up our broadcast tonight from the Waukee Fieldhouse. Our thanks to everyone here. We mentioned Eric Boyle, the athletic director, and his athletic secretary, Beth Collins, and Danny Franklin, the girls coach here at Waukee, and the boys coach, Kevin Kanaski. Again, the final in the boys contest, Waukee 52, Dowling 47. In the girls game, Dowling girls 11-0 as they defeat Waukee 37-30. In the game that preceded this. Our next broadcast will be this coming Tuesday night, January 11th. We'll be at the Valley Gymnasium. It'll be Dowling at Valley. Pregame at 6 o'clock. Girls tip off at 6:15. The boys to follow. Our thanks to Jennifer Phelps, our studio director and producer. Scott Babinett, Jimmy Cataldo. This is Mark Amadale for everybody involved with Iowa Catholic Radio. Thanks for listening tonight, and have a safe and blessed weekend. Again, we'll talk to you next Tuesday night right here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Our coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formalware. Thank you for supporting the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The proceeding has been a Dowling Catholic sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.